Well, there we go. All right, welcome everybody to our latest session of the Restoration of Cariele. As usual, we'll do a quick recap of what occurred last week, and then we will get underway with our session. So last week was predominantly you guys handling the various petitioners that came through. So you guys had the last little bit of the private petitioners to deal with, and then you had a whole lot of public petitioners as well. We won't go through all of them again, but just some super highlights, or super high-level highlights, I guess. You guys met privately with a woman who called herself a procurer of knowledge. There was some debate about whether to use her or not. She did bring a whip in that was concealed, kind of concealed on her person as it was wrapped up real close. This was noticed by Vin, who kind of took exception to this and let her know. But there was still some discussion about perhaps you guys would hire her. As far as the public petitioners, again, I won't go through all of these. A lot of them were you guys essentially just enforced what you had already decided when you had previously met and reviewed all of these. Again, super quick overview of some of the more important ones is you met Aridel Bertinel, which was the female elf armorer. She brought proof of her craft, and she left it there for Vin as a gift to the new regent, and essentially wanted to have a certification program that basically only allowed certified armorers to actually sell their crafts within the capital city of Carolinian. You guys kind of decided more of in like a middle of the road path where, well, what if you could do like a certification and then people could post it showing that they are certified, but not that it prevents other people from selling. She not necessarily seemed like that was the best idea, but she seemed maybe like that's okay with her in a sense. You guys also spoke with Gizilex, the female goblin miner. You did decide to fund her expedition, which was half a gold bar, as she takes some folks into Punal, which is the province closest to Cariele and the Five Peaks. She's going there to mine out some particular veins of metal and bring those back to Carolinian to be worked and obviously sold. You guys decided to not sponsor the ship for Mr. Montague because he wanted far more money than you were willing to spend. You met with Emmeline Cleves, who wants a promotion, as she said her captain of the guard, Francis Wrightingham, who is her superior, is kind of falling on the job. You guys kind of seem to maybe agree with that a little bit, but decided not to take a whole lot of action just yet. You guys also met with Gavin Boulderdown, who was a quite young man who was a priest who had come from the Northern Reformed Church of Ceremy, and Vin greeted him warmly, and it seemed as though this was a great beginning to a great relationship between the two factions here in the throne room. You guys also met with Destrian Light, who was a bodyguard. You guys seemed interested in perhaps hiring him, with the idea of having Tabard speak with him later to kind of go over some of the specifics. You decided not to fund Lindsay Darkdraft's expedition into the Stone Crown Mountains, where she believes there is a path to the Lost Realm. Instead, you asked for her to provide an itemized list of why the expenses are as much as they are, a total of 2 gold bars, and she indicated that she would do that. There was a few other folks that were sort of just summary here, but yeah, you guys met with them, went over all of this information, and after all of this was done, you guys had decided previously to accompany Mr. John Serpentwind, who is a magician, and he wanted to head to these ruins in the northwest province of Melivienne. So it's about a day's journey from Carolinian. This sounded interesting to you guys, as Mr. Serpentwind is looking for an orb that is supposed to be housed in these ruins, and he had indicated that that's all he's interested in. So if you accompany him to the ruins, he would take possession of the orb once you find it, but everything else that you find would be up for yours to keep. He said that if you don't find the orb, then he does want an equal share of everything that is discovered. You guys agreed to that with the stipulation that you have the opportunity to identify the orb once it's found, because you want to make sure that it's not going to be a danger to the realm. Mr. Serpentwind was a bit more precise on exactly what you mean by danger, and Vin gave him some high-level assurances that it's really only things that would be, mass issues, nothing that like, oh, it just makes your spells more powerful, which is what Mr. Serpentwind believes it does indeed do. With that out of the way, you guys had a bit more discussions. Vin let the team know that he would be staying back in Carolinian, and that he had previously asked for Lord Tannen to find a suitable replacement for him on the adventuring squad, and Lord Tannen said he had somebody in mind. You guys were quickly introduced to Jason, and I'm totally going to butcher this last name. Is it Renegan?
Renegon.
Renegon. All right, you were quickly introduced to Jason Renegon, who seems to come from one of the perhaps noble families here in Carolinian. Very striking appearance, and you guys were quickly brought up to speed on very brief details about him. And then you guys set off on the journey, the full day's journey from Carolinian over to this ruins. It was a very uneventful trek. You guys traveled through the light woods, the open plains, eventually getting to an area where there was a large pond down below, kind of like in a gully in a sense. It's created a bit of like a rock face. So you had to use some ropes and carefully climb down the side of this. Came around, stepping through this fairly shallow pond to find yourself at what looked to be the entrance to these ruins. So think of yourself descending a cliffside, and now you're kind of like, if this lines up how you think, you're walking back into that cliff now, obviously at a far lower elevation. But yeah, that seems to be what is laid out before you. So that was my quick recap, guys. I'm sure I missed a ton in there, but would anybody like to add anything I missed?
Yeah, I don't know if you missed it, but since we kind of fast forward a little bit, we did talk about my family and tribe of a handful of people coming into the castle, hoping that there's like an arboretum around or apothecary in the castle, some just some light duties they're able to serve. And so before we left, I would send a ritual animal messenger to command them to come to the castle and to serve here.
Yes, indeed. Dean extended an invitation to his enclave, a very small number of remaining followers, but also his family, to bring them more closer to the castle, be more in safety. Both Vin and the council were in agreement with this plan, so yes, that message has been sent. Obviously, it's only been a short period of time since that message has been sent, so likely they would not even leave for, it's going to take some time for preparations and all that, but yeah, good addition to our recap. Go ahead and take inspiration there, Dean.
Thank you.
I wanted to make I guess an observation, but the juggler, Orin, what is it, Nellenthar? He came in and him and Blixel kind of went back and forth, and Blixel essentially told him to come back when he can juggle daggers. So it's not super important, but I thought it was a good little tidbit of things to do because we'll probably see that guy again.
Absolutely. Always good to add color to the recap. Go ahead and take inspiration as well there, Jason. And yes, at first it was juggle swords, and then Orin said, well, what size swords? And it kind of negotiated Blixel down to daggers, so maybe a little bit more reasonable. All right, anybody else?
I will add, I might have missed it, but I will add that before we left, we asked Tannen to find us a pearl worth 100 gold pieces so we could cast the Identify spell. I don't know if he was able to do that before we left. We kind of fast-paced that.
You can assume as you were way out the door, he did indeed hand that over to you, as he was able to get somebody out to one of the stores and procure that without too much effort.
Excellent.
And I would award you inspiration, but I know you've done another great entry, so you already have probably both inspirations, I presume.
I've been sitting on both inspirations for a while, but if you want to hand one to Libby because she's our only frontliner, that would be super cool.
Absolutely, yeah. We can trek that over to Libby. Go ahead and take inspiration.
I have a feeling she's going to need it.
All right, if there is nothing else to add to our recap here, folks, then let's go ahead and deal out a card to everybody.
I can't get any more inspiration, but I do want to point out when we spoke to John Serpentwind about more details about this orb, he let us know that it was old elvish magic, and this ruin was probably some kind of hidden away elvish conclave, I guess you could call it, and they were running from something, although I can't quite remember the details on that, but he said he's been researching it for a while and he's tracked them down to this area.
He did indeed, again with some additional historical information, primarily that the elves weren't always on the side of good, as you can think of it in those simplistic terms. Back during the Battle of Mount Daesmar, he explained that some elves were, or actually all the elves were actually on the side of evil in the beginning, but most eventually switched over to good once the evil god's ruse was discovered. However, there was a group of elves that never turned away from evil. Their hatred of humans was that strong. And it's suspected that this place you're going to now is where some of those elves from many years ago resided at one point. Alrighty, so everybody's got their card. Take a moment to review it. If any questions, let me know. Let's go ahead and get everybody over to where we left off.
And Adam, I know we super fast tracked to get here, so we would save time this session and not have to travel. But when we woke up this day, what time is it now when we arrive at the
So I'm presuming
ruin?
that you guys did all of your petitioner work and then left after that. So I'm imagining it's probably about 7 in the evening at this point.
Okay, so I would say that when we left, Jason would have thrown his mage armor on while they were traveling, if that's okay with you.
Sure, yeah. Or you can say you did that just before here. The journey you didn't suspect was going to be particularly dangerous, so he probably would have waited till he got closer.
Yeah, that makes sense. So he probably, when we got within, a couple 100 feet or something like that, he probably would have thrown it on. And then, are we in the cave now? Because I can't see.
You are, actually, yeah, I was doing some different testing on this map, so let me go ahead and turn on global illumination as the fading light of the evening is still hanging somewhat in the sky.
Gotcha.
All right, and as a quick description of what you see from Mr. Serpentwind here, he is wearing a cloak. He looks to be a man maybe in his 30s, looks to be of Anwirian descent. He's wearing this pretty decorative-looking blue cloak with some lacquered gold. You notice that he also has studded leather armor underneath that cloak, which seems to be strapped onto him. He looks like he is certainly prepared and ready to go. You don't see any obvious weaponry on him. No staves, no daggers, nothing along those lines. But he is looking forward with purpose, and you can see his hands are out as though he is quite prepared. All right, and as you look towards this direction, what you're seeing before you, let me read you guys a little bit of a description to give you a little bit better sense of what it is that you're seeing here. A cavern entrance nestled within a rugged cliff face, its once forbidding mouth softened by a cascade of verdant vines. These vines, thick and lush, weave a tapestry of emerald and jade across the weathered stone, draping it in a natural shroud of life. Sunlight filters through the canopy above, dappling the tangled greenery with golden specks, creating a mesmerizing play of light and shadow. The vines themselves are a testament to time and tenacity, their tendrils snaking down from unseen heights to ensnare the rough-hewn edges of the cavern entrance. Small clusters of delicate flowers, vibrant in hues of violet and crimson, bloom sporadically along their length, adding splashes of color to the otherwise green tableau. Amidst the dense foliage, glimpses of the cavern's interior beckon, an inviting darkness that hints at secrets buried within ancient stone. The air is cool and earthy, carrying with it a faint scent of moss and dampness, a reminder of the subterranean world beyond the veil of greenery.
Take inspiration, Adam. I feel very immersed.
Excellent. That's the plan.
Yeah, it's covered in vines. You didn't tell us
Isn't it
that.
great to be out of the throne room? Let's effing go.
Let's start. Does that cabbage harvester harvest vines?
Sure. I start swinging.
Wait. You all are an awfully rambunctious group, are you not?
Oh yeah.
We've been cooped up for a while.
Well, let's take a second to look at the ground here. Any kind of footprints, travel in and out? Any kind of disturbances of the vines? Has anybody been here before us? Things like that.
That means you would like to do that searching there, Jason. Go ahead and give me a blind check.
No, Jason was just recommending it. As he walks up, he kind of crouches down and picks up a couple of these smaller stones and like flips them over in his hand. And he kind of looks up towards Dean.
Yeah, sure. Not a bad idea.
All right, Dean, as you're looking around for any signs of footprints and so forth, you do notice, I won't say footprints, but you do notice trails in the sand. It's as though they are small tracks, and there's many of them. Gives you the impression almost of like a massive racetrack with lines zigzagging all throughout the sand. In addition to that, as you were picking up some of those rocks, Jason, kind of just tossing them here and there, you notice one of the rocks to your south moves, and you kind of glance and look at it. It's a decent sized rock. You're wondering if you threw a rock there and it hit into that rock. You're not sure. You don't think so.
Like in this direction here? More like
to
over
your
here.
south in general, I will say. It just kind of caught it out of the side of your eye kind of deal.
Yeah. There appears to be some kind of movement over there.
What? Like, what'd you see?
I just saw the rock move. It was subtle.
Are these rocks moving? I will. Can I see if those zigzagging trails are like the attached to the rocks, the moving rocks, and just discern that?
Many of these zigzagging trails do seem to end at rocks.
Serpent wind. What's going on here? What is this?
Oh, you would like me to take a look and see? I suppose I can do so.
You're the one guiding us here. Figured you might know something about it.
Well, I must say I studied on ancient ruins and not zoology of beach-going creatures, but let me see. Why, yes, it certainly seems as though those lines end at rocks. How peculiar.
Well, it doesn't seem to be too much of a threat right away.
Can I do like a nature check, see if I'm familiar with any creature that leaves this type of trail?
You sure can. Blind check, please, there, Serena.
Can I help her, like, conversate, like we're going back and forth of potential creatures it is? And,
Are you
know,
both
like
proficient in nature?
I am, yes.
Me too.
Then yes, absolutely. So you guys, as Serena, as you start looking at this and you're like, oh, I wonder if that could be this, Jason kind of throws in, oh yeah, don't forget about that. You guys kind of go back and forth. I would say between your two collective heads, you know there are various types or various species of both snails or crabs that could leave these kind of trails. Depending on what type is, some are very docile and they won't bother humans at all. Others are incredibly aggressive.
Well, best to avoid it. Is there a path through the rocks without disturbing them?
Oh, okay. Deanne, go ahead and give me another check. This will be a much higher DC. Again, this track is racing everywhere, so you're looking for anywhere where you can basically create that hop here, hop there, hop there. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like this is covered everywhere. It would be almost impossible to avoid them at some point or another.
Serena's gonna pick up a rock and throw it in the most populated area that's like 10 feet away.
So give me an idea. If you want to point at a square, like where you're aiming, that will be best. All right, so you pick up one you're throwing here. Is that what I saw?
Yep.
All right, so you pick up a rock and you throw it that way. You see it cascades into some other rocks, and much like Jason said, you notice some movement there.
Do like legs come out, or how is it moving?
You don't see legs, but you do see, so you're looking at all these different rocks. Imagine you see one of these rocks almost shimmy back and forth.
Never saw a rock do that before.
Maybe it's one of those snail things you were talking about.
Could be. Doesn't seem like they're too hostile, though. My question is, what if something bigger is buried in the sand here? We can assume that creatures have made this area their home over the couple of decades it's been since it was last inhabited.
By buried, do you mean something dead or something waiting in ambush?
I don't think something dead would be something to worry about, do you?
Well, we've had some experiences to the contrary.
Interesting. Well, we can't just sit here and look at them all day.
Yeah. I volunteer to jump around and see if I can make my way through. All right.
Good luck.
I don my shield.
Blixel tries to move through without disturbing the rocks.
As you
As
step
much-
to there, Blixel, your foot does indeed hit into a rock, and you notice it kind of moves once again. It kind of goes a little bit not as flat to the sand anymore, and you do see what looks like a crab claw, but as you step out of the space quickly, the rock, or what you now realize is a shell, falls back to the ground.
Okay. And they're all the way up towards these are the vines here, I'm assuming.
They are indeed, yes.
Do they look natural? Is it strange for vines to be like completely blocking off an entrance?
Blind check, please. Yes, these look very natural, and they're not completely blocking off the entrance. You do notice that there is some darkness past this, and with your dark vision, you can actually see into there. It does look as though the beach, kind of what I would call a beach, continues for a bit. And with your dark vision, you even notice a set of stairs seeming to enter these ruins to your south past the vines. The vines don't look dangerous in any way. They just look very thick and overgrown.
Okay. Do they look passable?
Yeah. You could. It looks like you could either, with some effort, push them to the side or cut them down.
Okay. Blixel will call back to everyone. I see stairs inside, but past the vines. I'm gonna try to keep going.
I'll be behind you. I'll let you follow his steps, Adam.
I can't
While they're
wait anymore.
moving, Adam, I want to like kind of get down to like eye level with the rocks while they're moving through, and I just want to watch them for any disturbances. Looks like I saw something.
I just wanted to lock there just to say, Blixel, as you stepped through that square to your northeast, you notice that same behavior once again. The rock kind of shimmies, falls back down.
So for a future battle, it'll be horrible to have these things like laying vines all over the place. Okay. So yeah, if that ever happens, he moves away from them as much as he can, and just keep going.
All right, and are you wanting to push through the vines here, Blixel?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to keep you there for a moment. You begin pushing through the vines, and yeah, does not look like this will be too difficult. All righty, there I'm going to lock the tokens once again. The third time now that a rock, aka shell, has been disturbed, you hear this sort of sound underneath you, Serena, very much critter-like, clawing, clacking sort of sound, and you hear that sound is then resonated all around you.
Cool.
Well,
Just pays to be first, I guess.
Serena's gonna start running.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put you guys in initiative order, and then you can decide what you do from there.
They don't look too friendly.
Looks like one's under Serena.
It is
I'm trying to-
indeed.
Is there a smaller head inside the big mouth?
Oh, you're looking for an image. Well, I got a little bit creative just on a few of these, so I think I got one of these for you. There you are. That is what it looks like. So think of that skull on top representing its shell. Obviously, this is depicting it as being an actual skull, but these more look like shallow, well, I can't think of that word. Shells that have been carved out of their insides or rocks, that sort of thing. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and have Saline play her
Yeah.
card, please.
You got it.
Wait, quick thing. I am not in initiative. Is that because I'm pushing through the vines?
No, you should definitely be in initiative. Let me add you in there.
I dropped the card in the wrong spot. I don't know where it
No
went.
worries, I got you. Okay, the team is struck with an uncoordinated defense, so each of you will have a -1 penalty to your defense rolls for the next minute.
Small losses.
All right, we'll keep that there. Let's see, we should have Blixel in play now. Okay, so Blixel, you are at top of initiative. You're about halfway through these vines when you hear the sound of this clattering and this resonance from behind you. What would you like to do?
And they look hostile.
I mean, they haven't attacked or anything yet, but I would say the clacking, the clattering, that sort of thing, you get the impression that they've been agitated, I will say.
I'm scared.
Okay. Well, you know, no. I hate to. Yeah, Blix is going to cast Fairy Fire as his racial ability. I know it's on smart AoE, so let me pull that.
Well, let me unlock the token so you can move that a little better.
Okay, so he's going to do it there.
All right, feel free to trigger it. Okay, a couple are indeed affected, and we will go ahead and say that is the first two. So I'm going to pick the top two ones, and the next two are not affected.
Okay. And then as a bonus action, look here. And do they look more pissed at Serena than other people? So am I able to tell that? Or
You cannot at all, no.
I'll just hold a bonus action in case, and or just not spend one. And that's it.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and throw pink dots on these ones that are currently fairy fired, and we're going to go ahead and throw the stopwatch on you to represent your concentration.
Yeah, I'll mark it off on my sheet. It's a racial thing.
Okay. Now I'm noticing our little token marker thing isn't following, so I'm going to try just resetting the sandbox real quick. All right, but in the meantime, the crab that is here is going to move out forth. As it does so, it'll get to here. Okay, and it's got a couple of tasty targets to go for. It is going to attack Jason. Welcome to the team, Jason. All right, this crab is going to attempt to claw you a couple of times. I'll need 2 defense rolls, please.
All right.
You are struck twice. With the claws slashing in as those pincers slash and cut into your flesh. You will suffer a total of 20 points of damage.
Great
Oh,
start.
absolutely. An even better start because the next one to act is this one, who is going to move up and attempt the same, Jason. This time you are more prepared and you evade that first claw and the second claw. Okay, the one next to Dian, just to Dian's west, is now up next. I'm not sure why our marker is not working anymore. I'll have to check that in downtime. Sandbox is working, so I'm not sure what the deal is. Let me just try throwing out of curiosity. I'm going to throw that like that. We'll see if that fixes anything. I don't think it will. But okay, Dian, 2 defense rolls from you, please. Yes, you managed to evade both of these. Okay, Mr. Serpent Wind's turn. He is going to back up as he kind of edges onto this rock a bit, and he says, I don't know what these are. Say lead.
All right. Well, I see that my friend Blixel has applied Fairy Fire, so I will shoot at the one directly to my east with a Firebolt and see what happens. The dots are the advantage, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, that will indeed connect. Scorching this crab here.
And then I am going to fall back 5, 10, and I would go off map, but because I know how much you hate it.
Thank you, thank you.
Is this water to my left deeper?
It's only puddle deep, so at most it gets to be like 18 inches deep.
Okay.
Or I shouldn't say puddle, I should say pond. It's a shallow pond, so yeah, it never gets higher than 18 inches.
Would it be difficult terrain to move through it?
Not at your height, no.
And I'll keep going. There.
Okay, Dian.
Okay, so can I get a clear shot at the one that's occupying the square of Serena next to me?
When you say shot, what are you trying to do?
Oh, hit, attack roll.
Yeah, you can swing down at it.
Okay, all right. So then I'm gonna use the tentacle rod. So it's a plus. So anyway, you'll see. I had to make it a plus. My usual attack roll is a 7, and according to tentacle rod, it's a +9. So I had made some adjustments.
Oh, tricky. Hadn't even identified it yet and already looked it up in the SRD. I see. Yeah, it is a +9. You can go ahead and make that attack.
I thought I attuned to it. I get its things, right?
No, not necessarily. That is an optional rule that we don't use in this campaign.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I was trying to help. I was wondering why I wasn't in the magic.
I saw you
items list
post it
or
earlier
anything.
today, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what he did. I was just messing with you. I was getting ready to set you up. All right, so you've got the total correct modifier in there. Yes, that is indeed going to connect.
And then second attack. Oh, no. The second go at it.
That'll hit as well. And so will the third.
Alright, now you know the riders that go with that. I think it's a con DC 15.
It is. So I'm going to have you roll a d20 for me for now since we don't have this built in, and we're going to take the inverse, so you want high. Okay, so yes, indeed, he will fail that save, and he is affected by this.
Alright, and then I'll move 5, 10, 15 to there.
Okay, anything? Nope. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Alrighty, this one.
Where is Serena?
She is underneath a crab at the moment.
Oh, the one with the down arrow?
Yes.
Okay, alright.
But the crab's actually underneath her.
Yes.
In real
Yep.
pain.
All right, this crab is going to move forward and just so happens to put Serena in the flank. Serena, 2 defense rolls, please. Ooh, both of these are going to connect for a total of 13 points of damage against Serena. Okay, next up is this one, who is right next to Serena, is going to move up and attack Serena. 2 more defense rolls, please. Okay, the first one connects. And the second one, you just barely managed to evade, even with that red card hanging over you. 11 more points of slashing damage to Serena. And we move to Jason's turn.
All right. Jason sees all these crabs pop up and start running to him. He got hit in the leg a couple of times. And you see he kind of just takes his staff and brings it in front of him. And he's kind of going to do like the Gandalf slam. And when he does, his eyes go into this brilliant, brilliant blue. And it kind of radiates off of him. And then all of a sudden, this spirit kind of detaches from the back of him. And it's this woman. And she looks like a maiden on like the front of a ship, you know, the heads of the ships that you would see from like big galleons. And at first she looks really serene, and then she kind of opens her mouth and her jaw unhinges, and it's this big, big maw, and she's going to scream. And I'm going to use my bloodline ability, Lamentations of the Lost, and I'm going to do the Great ability, where I'm going to channel a lost spirit. I am going
Okay.
to affect all targets that aren't companions.
Okay, so that looks to me like you get all of them except this one to the far right, who's a little bit outside your reach there.
Perfect.
Okay,
I don't
please.
think this is in like a. I don't have like a
it's probably
macro.
yes, but this is based on your charisma, so it will work for a spell effect roll. So if you want to give
Okay.
me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spell effect rolls.
Alrighty, here we go. We're just gonna go left to right.
Yes, yep.
All right. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need 4 more.
Okay, so the first and second to last are not affected. All the rest are. So with this effect, they will be considered deafened and frightened, and they may also be stunned. Okay, so let's see here.
Yep. If anybody failed by more than 5, so
All
my
of them
DC is
that are
15.
yes, all of them that are affected. Well, yeah, your DC doesn't matter. It's that spell effect roll. So all of them that
Gotcha.
are affected fail by 5 or more. So all of them
Wow,
are stunned.
Nice.
Whoa.
shit. Yeah, and so like after it kind of shrieks out and then it kind of pulls back into him, he kind of like shakes his head and like smiles, and then he's going to snap his fingers and he'll misty step with his bonus action back here behind Saline. Cast that real quick. And this is going to be my Fey Touched ability, so not a spell slot at him. So I'm just going to click it, but I'll give myself the slot back. And that's my turn.
All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to throw a single dot because all of these guys are deafened, frightened, stunned. So rather than adding 3 to each one, I'm just going to do this for now.
Is there a duration on that stun, Dylan, or is it just until they save?
They get a save at the end of every turn. Here it is. They are also stunned. The target can make a new saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending all effects on a successful save.
Yeah.
And then I must
All right.
complete a long rest before I can use it again.
And this is the one that is closest to Blixel, so it is stunned. Stunned, I don't think they can do much of anything.
They can speak falteringly.
And just so you guys
Yeah.
know, that was I rolled a unique ability for his bloodline, and I got upgrade to great. So Adam kind of created this ability. So
Yeah, that's one of the coolest ones I've seen.
yeah, I thought
for
it was
sure.
pretty sweet. And it's got some other stuff. Like I can use all 3 of those. So
Super rare indeed. Very, very rare roll. Okay, so this one that is closest to Blixel, it is going to end its turn. Throw me another spell effect roll, please, Jason.
alrighty, here we go.
All right, he is still affected. Okay, this is the only one that was not affected by this. And the only one he can actually reach is poor Serena. So that's who he's going to go for. Serena, 2 defense rolls, please. Yes, you managed to evade both
Nice.
of those attacks. Let's see, this... Oh, I'm sorry. This one was also not affected because he succeeded on his save. There was 2 that succeeded, and then 1 that wasn't in the AoE effect. So this one is also up. And yeah, these guys are pretty primitive and basic. They just go for the closest creature, which unfortunately is you against Serena. 2 more defense rolls. Yes, once again, quick on your feet, not struck. Serena, your turn.
What kind of damage did the ones that hit me do to me?
Slashing damage.
Well, she's gonna lash out at.
So just as a quick reminder, Serena, the 2 pink ones are currently covered in fairy fire, which means your attacks would be at advantage against them. And I think if the stun ones
Only
you
yellow are
check,
stunned.
yeah, so all the yellows and the pinks, you have advantage on any of them.
Okay.
Is stun the one that gives insta crits?
No, that's
that's
paralyzed.
paralyzed.
Gotcha. God, paralyzed is so deadly.
Yeah. That's why you don't want to fight ghouls.
Now that you've said that, there's going to be ghouls inside.
Sorry.
It's
Yeah,
funny you
ghouls
said
can
that, 'cause
paralyze you.
I'm planning my next campaign, and I think I'm running Empire of Ghouls in my next one, so that's funny that you say that. But all right. Anyway, all right, so you rage bonus action, Serena. All right.
Gonna go for the pink one right next to it.
All right, just to your east. Okay.
Wait, did you get the shadowy tendril thing? Is that
Oh,
what
you did indeed. Yeah, Wild Surge.
Oh, that's
Do we
cool,
do
dude.
that
Ow.
first or second?
That's
We'll do
sick.
that first. I was checking to see if stunned impacted con saves. It does not. So
Just dex and strength.
right. So did we? I swear, I always say we built this for you, but I don't know if we did. Did we build you a way to do a spell effect roll for your rage effects?
Well, yeah, when I hit that, it does it automatically. Like,
Yeah,
The
but they
Wild
have to
Surge, you
make
mean?
a check. So I thought we built this in for you.
I've never done this one before. I don't think.
Okay, so just to make it easy, I'm gonna have you roll me 30 feet. Yeah, so I'm gonna have you roll me 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 d20s, please. All right, and of
Nice.
course, you want high, so I'm taking the inverse of those. All right, so the first one is not affected. Second one is not affected. Third is, fourth is. So go ahead and roll me 2d12s. Roll me 4d12s. Okay, so I'm going to apply those damages. All right, so as these shadowy tendrils break out, I am going to move you to back for just a moment.
Were those dex saves or?
No, I was just checking that too. They're actually con saves, and stun doesn't do anything for it.
Okay.
And then the last 2 failed, right, as well.
Yes. So 2 more d12s there, Serena.
And I'm gonna roll one more for my temporary hit points.
Yep, okay. All right, and you've got 9 temper HP. That was only a bonus action. Yes, Shipwrecker will indeed connect with the creature just to your east. For a total of 14 points of damage, badly wounding this crab.
And I think that's it for me.
You are level 5 now, so you have extra attack, which means you can attack a second time.
Oh, thank you.
Nice. Smush that bitch.
.23 indeed will hit. Go ahead and post damage again. This crab is indeed squashed like a bug.
Isn't she on a crab?
She is, yes. Anything else on your turn screen? Okay, so you're stepping away to there.
If they're stunned, they don't have an opportunity attack, do
That is correct. So anything with the yellow dot will not be able to attack you opportunity.
they? Okay. So,
Okay, move to the top of the round with Blixel.
Okay. Blixel sees them all swarming over Serena, so he will rush up to. Yeah, I'll go here.
Okay.
And I go, oh my god, there's a lot of them here. Holy crap. And he'll swing. He has his 2 short swords, so he'll pull his other one out if he only had one out. And swing at the stunned and fairy fired one.
Okay, you attack to the one to your northwest.
And I have Elven accuracy now, so it's triple advantage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I don't know how to really roll that, but I'm just going to do this.
For this one, it won't matter, I'm sure. Yeah, that's going to hit. And yes, that is enough to skewer that one. It is slain.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't use the word slain. I should say it is down.
Oh.
Remember our
Death
house
saves.
rule where they all get 1 death save?
Oh, yeah. All right. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go here, and then here, and then bonus action attack the stunned one.
Okay.
So
I think
again,
that house rule should be for humanoids.
and I guess roll another d20 just to see if it's crits.
Yep, yeah, you could do that. So that'll just be a hit.
Okay, I'm going to make this actually a slashing flourish. So I'm going to expend Bardic Inspiration to deal extra damage to the target on the hit and any creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and post that.
So it's a D6. Okay, so it's 3 more damage.
And I think you never posted your base damage, so go ahead back up to your
Oh.
short sword. Go ahead and click that. All right, so 12 to the first one, and then I'm assuming, yeah, the only other one within 5 feet of you is the one just to your north. You'll take 3.
Yep.
All right,
And
your
that
slashing
damage.
flourish connects. All right, that is the end of your turn. Okay, this is the one that is west north of Blixel, and it's stunned, so it's going to end its turn. Jason, another spell effect roll, please. He is still affected. We will move to the next one. This one is not currently affected by anything. He is going to move over to Blixel and take a couple of attacks against you, Blixel. You manage to evade both of these claws as they clamp down upon you. This one is also stunned. Another spell effect roll, Jason. He is still affected. All right, Mr. Serpentwind from up top. He looks down now, and you see he kind of puts his hands together, and he points out towards the 2 creatures that are both currently stunned. He will hit both times as you notice this sort of electric looking kind of energy. It doesn't exactly zap. It's like this yellow, almost humming energy that it floats off of his hand, hits him. Almost looks like rings of yellow in an odd sense. Okay, the first one is dropped. As is the second one, both injured ones. Okay, and they are both now on the ground. Okay, Celine, your turn.
Okay. Let me find my ruler. Do I have a clear shot to the one in between Blixel and Serena from here?
So these creatures are small, kind of flat to the ground, so I would say the creatures don't provide any kind of cover.
Okay. Then I will shoot at the one that they are engaged with Firebolt.
Okay. Yes, right on the money. That will scorch the creature as it boils a bit in the shell.
And I will stay here.
Hey, Dian.
Okay, I see him. I'm going to 5, 15. I'm going to move up to here. And I'm going to use my rod again as I activate its ability to hit the one that's between Celine and... no, I'm sorry. Serena and Blixel.
Okay. That will hit. Wounding the creature. Hit again. Wounds the creature again. That will miss.
Oof.
Okay, and then I am going to... I don't know why, but I'll move here.
Okay, this is the one that is currently down, and I'm going to be real terrible at remembering who dropped who, so I'm just going to go left to right. Jason, roll me a d20. You want high. All right, that one is slain. Once they're dead, I'm just going to move them off just to clear up the map a little bit. Let's see, this one is also down on the ground. Dian, d20, please. Ooh, close, but yes, that one is also dead. And Jason, your turn.
All right. Jason is going to move a little bit more forward, and he is going to pull up his staff, and he's going to kind of cut the air with it in front of him, like he's making a whack at something in front of him with the staff. But as he does, you see these two slashes of wind kind of fly out, and he's going to do one attack here and the other attack on the one that's down, so it just finishes it off. But I'm going to use Twin Spell on this cantrip I have, Adam. So I'll take one sorcery point down. I don't have that built in yet, by the way.
Yep, no worries. We'll work on that between now and next time.
Cool. And then the ability I have, it's one of the ones from Cobalt Press. But we'll do the first attack on the one that's down.
Yeah, that'll certainly hit. Now, you say the one that's down, you mean the one that was on death saves, right? Yep, okay.
Yeah,
So he is slain.
And then the second one kind of cuts right through and goes towards the one in between Serena and Blixel.
That will hit as well. Okay, he has also dropped to the ground.
Perfect. And then he'll move back up here near this rock where everyone's at and end his turn. You see him kind of stretch. It's been a while since he's gotten out of the house. He looks like he's having fun.
This is the one east of Blixel, still stunned. Another spell effect roll, Jason. He is still stunned. See, this one is dying, so we're on to Saline now. Saline, D20, please. Also dead. Okay, this is the one that has just been dropped. Serena, D20, please. Also dead. And Serena. Oh, if you're talking, Serena, we can't hear you.
Sorry about that.
All right, who are you swinging Shipwrecker at?
This one.
Okay, the one to your west. He is stunned. You have advantage. Yes, that will hit. As Shipwrecker punctures into him, wounding him. And on advantage, hitting again. He looks near death.
Dang. Done. All right, I think that is going to be it.
All right, back to Blixel.
Okay. Well, Blixel wants to get in on the advantage, so he is going to circle around this guy. And so it's easy when they just sit here and stare. Weird little things. And he's going to swing at this one.
On advantage, that will hit. And that one is also dropped.
And then yeah, he'll attack the one in front of him here.
Okay. Yes, that will hit as well.
Okay, I'm going to make a defensive flourish with this.
Okay. 4 extra damage and +4 to your defense rolls till the start of your next turn.
Oh, that's cool. That's what Defensive Flourish does. That's dope.
Yeah, I mean, it ups your AC by whatever the damage die is. So,
So is it till like does that last until the start of your next turn? Is that how it works?
yeah, yep.
That's cool.
So, yeah, so 13 damage total, and yeah, I mean, I'm out of attack, so I'm not gonna risk jumping away.
Okay, we move to the one that was just down. Blixel, D20, please. He is also dead. Okay, this is the one that you just struck. Got a couple of options, and he chooses Serena. Serena, 2 more defense rolls, please. You will get missed on the first one, but the second one critically hits you, Serena. I will need a slashing crit on yourself. Okay,
Damn.
this one really cuts into you, Serena.
Jeez.
Rage is gonna help me, right?
It will indeed.
Have you used those temp HP points yet?
So that's
Nope, haven't been hit.
total of 19. That will be cut in half to 9 for your rage. So you'll take 9, and now you are bleeding.
Sweet, that was just my temps.
That was the exact amount. That's cool.
Okay, back to Mr. Serpent Wind, and he is going to throw out some more arcane energy towards the one that you are all attacking just now. That is actually a critical hit against the creature. Ooh, we don't get to see these very often.
Force or something?
It's actually psychic, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that will deal 24 points
Damn.
of damage, and that is going to drop that one to the ground. And he will then blast off a second one at the stunned one. Oh, okay, so the first one wasn't a crit. That second one is a crit. All right, so let's see. I'm just going to recalculate that real quick. So the first one's injured but not down.
Yeah, I'm curious. Do we notice how powerful he seems to be destroying these things?
You're seeing what he's doing. How powerful you determine that to be is up to you. So I'm going to apply that crit to this one instead. Okay, he has wounded that one. Saline.
All right. It kind of looks like the team has this well enough in hand. So seeing Serena take that big hit and is starting to bleed all over the place, she'll come in and do some little field medicry to go staunch that wound. So I'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and I will use my action to stop the bleeding.
Okay, excellent. The wound is staunched.
And I'll back up with my last 5.
Okay, Dean.
Okay, I'll move up to there, and I am gonna hit the creature to my south, so activating my rod again.
That will hit. That will hit.
No.
Nice.
That will also hit.
Does it not add your strength? Is it just a flat D6?
It's three attacks, so that's pretty good. It's a 1d6, no riders, but this is what
Gotcha.
matters in the thing. He's got to roll a DC 15 con.
But he is already stunned, so I'm not even going to worry about that, because I'm not sure he's going to get another turn here, Dean.
And we're done.
Okay, Jason.
All right, Jason will cut in between everybody, and as he walks back up, he'll target that one that's stunned again, and he'll kind of hold up that staff of his and cut through the wind again and send another slash towards it. I assume it's advantage, right?
Yes, because he's stunned. Yep. It'll hit. Yes,
Nice.
that one is also dropped to the ground.
I try to use the slash to like target his claws, cut him off. No more pinching nobody.
Okay, that's the one that was just down. I think we're back to the front. So Jason, D20, please. He is indeed slain. Serena. Okay, that will connect. And that is enough to drive this one to the ground. And even if somehow it did manage to make that save, I'm sure it's not going to be able to do much. So we're going to call that one dead. All right, folks, we are out of this combat.
What'd you
Grab it,
guys
grab
do?
Adam,
You
can I
guys-
stoop over one of the carcasses and give it a once over and see if I know about it at all?
See if it's
You
edible.
can.
I have this ability, so I think it allows me to have either expertise or at least proficiency in doing any checks about monsters.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's not. Yeah, okay. It's not technically expertise, but yeah, mechanically similarly. So are you well, I guess it doesn't matter. Just throw me a blind check, please.
Yeah, I don't know the check specifically what you need, but maybe I am.
Okay, so with your check, I'm going to say you are not familiar with this creature. This is obviously some kind of crab, but you're not familiar on the specifics.
Interesting.
That was a nat
guys-
1, by the way, because normally you're going to be good at those.
Yeah.
You guys can't be rocking around kicking all the rocks. They're moving, guys. Come on. All right.
It was
All
an
right.
accident.
And not for any particular reason, but anybody that happened to have been damaged during that battle, please give me a Constitution saving throw.
All right. That would be me. Here we go. Con save.
All right.
Hang on now, Adam. Would this fall under my thing?
I don't know which thing you're thinking about.
This one.
Um,
Because it's a lingering effect, I don't know if it would necessarily be I'm the target of a non-weapon ability.
I'm going to say
You know what I
no,
mean?
and the reason why is because this is just like a rider effect, so it's not like an ability that is used. It's something that happens at the end of a battle when you get hit by these creatures. So I'm going to say this is not something you can learn with Azure Lore.
Gotcha. Cool.
Is everyone all right?
I took a pretty nasty hit there, but I think I'll be okay.
Oh, we can't
Yeah.
see your health bar.
I'm less than half.
You guys
Serena-
can't see Jason's?
I cannot.
Correct.
I
How about
can't.
that?
I can see
Now I
it.
can.
Okay, good. Yes, thank you.
Let me
we
fix
just-
that real quick. Jason, don't move. Sorry, but everybody else, feel free to keep talking.
Should we take a little nap?
Here, I'll patch him up.
Who up, him or me?
Well, he's more badly hurt, it looks like.
Yeah, so I was wondering if we should rest for 60 minutes before we throw ourselves behind this curtain.
Well,
Adam, if out of character, real quick, if somebody targeted me with a cure wounds, would that be something that Azure Lore would be able to pick up since I'm the target of a spell?
Yes.
Okay. So Jason will kind of look at you guys and say, well, it's something new to me. It's something I know I can do. I just haven't had the ability to do so. But if somebody were to target me with healing magic, I could absorb that magic and use it myself later on.
oh, okay. You do it like this, and then Blixel will spit in his hands, rub them together, and then grab Jason's ear and cast Cure Wound.
Jason goes, strange. And he's going to try to do his, he's going to try to absorb that ability.
Okay, sure. So this is a concentration check, which is equivalent to a Constitution save. This doesn't cause damage, so you just need to hit a DC 11.
Cool.
All right, you can add Cure Wounds to your Azure Lore.
Nice. And did you see in my bio, Adam?
You're
I put a
keeping track
section
of
for
that?
that?
Yes, I very
Yeah.
much appreciate that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got you.
I don't want to spend too much time out here and let it get darker.
So after you did that, you kind of watch as Jason looks down at his hands and kind of rubs them together, and then he grabs his own ear and he's going to cast Cure Wounds on himself. And
Oh, you were going to cast on Serena. Here, Serena, come here.
well, he's going to see if it works first, I suppose.
Blixel Cure Serena for 9.
Thanks, buddy.
And I will heal myself for 6. That is cool.
It's definitely going to be a weird class. We're going to see how it goes.
Yep. And these ones that you had listed in the compendium, are these ones that you homebrewed, or are they variants of homebrews?
No, many of these came from DM's Guild, but I had to tweak some of them because some of them were way OP. Like this one was way OP as it is published, so I had to really nerf it quite a bit. So what you see, even though it looks strong, it was way worse in its original form.
Yeah, it's more so that it's just such an interesting class that I was like, well, I got to play that.
Yeah, it's obviously ripped from Final Fantasy, if you're familiar with the Blue Mages from there. So yeah,
Yep.
it's very much sponsored by that, or not sponsored, but what's the word I'm looking for here? Inspired. Thank you. Yep.
Jordan made that reference immediately when I was talking to him about the class. He was like, "Oh, you're Final Fantasy-esque." It looks dark inside, Adam? Can I?
It does.
I've never used one of these, but it came with my starting equipment. It's a bullseye lantern.
Sure, yeah. You'd like to hold and light your bullseye lantern?
Yeah, because then I've got my staff in one hand and I've got my lantern in the other as I'm walking through.
All right, if I remember correctly, bullseye lanterns are pretty strong light-wise. Oh yeah, 60 bright, 60 dim. So this thing is going far and wide. All right, are you guys wanting to pass through the vines at this point?
Yes.
Before we do it, I say to Blixel, maybe we'll find your girlfriend in this cave too.
I doubt it. I think she went somewhere cold.
Oh, sorry guys.
Oh, close my eyes. I closed my eyes.
That was the wrong slider to turn off. I was trying to turn off this one, global illumination. Okay. So yeah, you guys should not be able to see much now, hopefully.
Nope, just these vines in front of us.
All right, and you're passing through these vines. So now that the global illumination is turned off, everybody should only be able to see based on their own light settings. Let me go ahead and pull everybody over past the vines.
Okay. Yep. It's working.
Okay, you find yourself now in what looks to be these ruins.
I think I'm stuck, Adam. There we go.
All right, again,
All right.
just want to set the scene here. So you're entering these ruins. You can see the stonework here is quite damaged. There's a lot of rock, that stuff, sort of stuff. The very bright bullseye lantern is sending light quite far, so keep that in mind.
Does this look like a defensible position? What are these things on the wall?
They certainly look like openings that guardians on the inside might use to watch who's entering.
Does-
Mr. Sweetwater, you found quite a place. Is it worked stone around us, Adam, the stairs and everything, or is it natural?
It is worked stone. As he looks at you and he
Yeah.
says, it is serpent wind, but thank you.
Oh,
Can I try my I guess my background ability? Here, I'm gonna post it to GM at.
Does the bullseye lantern just do it in one direction?
It's a cone in front of bright light and then 60 feet of dim light around.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could try to do directional light, but I know there's been some issues with that in the past. What does the cone size say for bullseye?
60-foot bright light cone, and then it's 60 feet of dim light around it. So it's like in front of him, it's bright light, and then everything else around him is just dim light.
Hold up 1 second, guys.
Yeah, it's a new one. I haven't.
Oh, it's
So
been
to make
around for
it-
a long time, just nobody ever uses it, so I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, and it just
No, it's just only a cone. So it's bright light in a 60-foot cone and dim light for an additional 60 feet. So really, it's directional light. So let's try this.
Yeah. So the bad guys can't see the light.
And I think it has a little thing that I can slide back and forth that allows me to turn it on and off, right?
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit weird here, Jason, but you notice how I just turned this on for you. And as you'll notice, you can't see to your south right now because your lantern is not pointed that way. But when your
I got
token
it.
is selected, if you use that slider at the top, you'll be able to spin your token around, and that will change the way that you're turning the light.
I got it. Yep. All right.
All right, let me go ahead and remove token lock. All right.
That's cool.
All right, Serena and Jason, as you're making your way up these stairs, you notice there is the statue embedded in the wall across your way to the south. You also notice a lone, what looks to be humanoid skull sitting face down, and its eyes are looking in your direction.
Interesting.
Check it for crabs.
That's not unsettling at all.
doing that for
and
light, Adam.
I'm sorry, what
Is
was
that
that,
like-
Dia?
I'm doing that for light.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
that historical knowledge I sent you, Adam, would that be in effect here? Would I be able to ascertain some things about this ruin, walking into it, looking at it?
Yes, I would say you can tell, and maybe this comes as a little bit of a surprise to you, because you know your information says that the elves came here. This structure was clearly built by humans, more specifically the ancient Anwirians known as the Andu.
So I'll turn back and look at Mr. Serpentwind, and I'll say, I thought you said these ruins were elvish in nature. This is obviously old Andu. Look at
He looks towards the structure and he looks back towards you and he says, well, what I said is that the elves came here. I did not say that they constructed it.
Aw, it's not elvish.
Perhaps not originally in its purpose, but the elves made it to their own purposes.
Serena's gonna poke the skull with Shipwrecker.
Yeah, it just moves back a little bit as you poke it.
So there's no crab in it?
Doesn't seem to be, no.
Is there any way that I'd be able to discern if there was anything magical about it?
You can give me a blind check to see if anything perceptible looks magical to you. No.
Who just leaves the skull sitting around?
You know what I say? Free skull.
Does it look placed there with purpose, or does it just look like it's strewn on the ground?
Oh, boy. Blind check, Saline?
And she poked it, didn't she? It rolled around, or did it move off of its spot any?
It slid backwards, yep, just like you would expect it to react from the force.
Okay.
So what I will say, Celine, is you're not sure. The way it's set, it almost looks like it's too perfect that it just wound up that way. And obviously you don't see other parts of the body here. But yeah, you can't really say what how this came to be and how long it's been here.
What's this thing in the back?
It's a big
That
old
is a statue.
Can we tell of what?
It looks to be of a human wearing a robe, holding a hand out in a stop gesture.
Oh.
Okay, good. I'm glad that's a hand.
Oh.
Is this any kind of religious figure, Adam, or a historical
Blind
figure or
check,
anything?
please, Jason. It's not religious, but you do seem to recall, and this lines up with your knowledge that you've already determined that this was constructed by the ancient Andus. There was a sect that was very short-lived many, many years ago of pacifist Andus, and they were said to try to build these places where people could come and live in harmony and learn the ways of peace, but they didn't last very long.
Can't imagine why.
Interesting.
What do the ends of this corridor look like?
To your east, it looks as though this corridor continues, but you notice the ground here at the far end of the east in your dark vision. Remember, only black and white after a distance. The ground definitely does not look the same. It looks rougher, it looks cracked, and you think you might notice some other things there, Serena. Go ahead and give me another blind check, please. Yes, indeed you do. You notice that there is a field of small black-capped mushrooms that poke up through the ruined stone there.
We got shrooms.
First valuable thing of the dungeon.
Look at our resident druid. Can we eat those?
I'm back here. I can't see what's happening.
Come check
Black
out the
cap
shrooms.
mushrooms.
I'm getting hungry.
Adam,
I
can-
wouldn't go near them if I were you.
So black cap, Adam, can I do a neat see if I'm familiar with those?
If you want to do one from here, you can. It will be at disadvantage. You haven't seen them. All you've heard is the color, so you're kind of drawing on real.
Oh, so
But
so
if you
I was
if you
thinking
approach
that the
them and
name of
see
the
them, well,
I
no,
was
no,
thinking
no.
the name.
Yeah, it's not that they're named black cap mushroom. That's just the color of the caps.
Okay. All right.
All right, you guys get up here. Let's go. What does the corridor ending to the west look like?
It looks like this work stone just ends abruptly.
Does the skull look like a human skull or an elven skull?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Blixel's sentiment. Can I pick it up, Adam, and determine age, race, something along those lines?
Since Blixel acts first, I'm going to have Blixel go ahead and make the check. He's kind of looking at it as you then pick it up, Jason. Blixel, blind check. You're not quite sure, Blixel. It's definitely humanoid in nature. It might be a elf, or it might be more of like smaller human.
He'll hand it over and be like, I'm not sure. Doesn't look like any of my kin.
Can I ascertain maybe its age, Adam, based on like decomp and stuff?
Give me an idea when you say age. You mean like age the person was when they died, or how long it's been sitting here?
I would say more so like how long they've been dead. You know, like can I tell by the deterioration of this, the skull in any way if it's super old, if it's more recent, etc.
Sure. Give me a check. I will say this is going to be a super high estimate. Even on a nat 20, it's still going to be a guess.
Sure. He's an archaeologist, so it's like this is like up his alley. You know what I mean?
Yes, I will say that this looks like an older skull. It looks reasonably well intact. You don't see any damage to it, so you might almost call it pristine condition. It's hard to ascertain an age.
Slip it in my pack.
Sure, yeah, go ahead and add skull, and I will move it off of the map.
For reference, do we know how long ago the war with the elves was? Like when they might have been occupying this?
We do. That is more or less common knowledge, I will say. So I will look that up for you so I don't get it wrong in our calendar here. Somewhere approximately 1,500 years ago, Saline.
Any idea if his check would be able to ballpark it in that area or no?
I'm going to say no.
Well, I can tell you that these ruins originally were a pacifist colony of Andu people, but those sects of people didn't last long. Unfortunately, they, perished. Pacifism doesn't get anyone anywhere nowadays.
Hey Adam, where are the black cat mushrooms? Am I close? I don't know where they were. I was
We-
in the other room.
We pointed them to you.
If you step 5 feet to your south here, Dean, and look to the east, you will notice where the stone changes from more of a stone type color to more of a dark color. Yep. So you notice everywhere you see that dark, think of this as cracked, broken stone, and these mushrooms are poking up through those ruined stones.
All right. Do I feel safe here to do a check, or do I need to go one more?
No, you're good there. Yeah, go ahead and give me a blind check. Yes, so you can determine that these are an edible type of mushroom that grows with almost no light. There's nothing dangerous to it. It typically is used as like a food source for very subterranean type creatures. So you'd be familiar with some of the larger variety of these. The dwarves actually culture and then eat. Some of the other type of creatures that would live underground, think like orogs and other sentient beings, as well as more like bestial creatures underground. This is a pretty common food fare for them.
All right, so I'm kneeling down looking at them, and I'll just take one up and eat it. And I say, these are edible. It tastes really good on a pizza.
I hope you knew that before you put it in your mouth.
Well, that's part of the process.
I see.
Lexel's eyes turned white in his head for a second, and he cast Detect Evil and Good.
Ooh, I was just getting ready to remove your concentration for a fairy fire. Okay, you cast Detect Evil and Good. Can you post that spell for me? Do you have that separate?
Yeah.
Serena's going to gather up some shrooms for her pack.
Okay, yeah, there is a ton here, Serena, so you can gather as much as you like, really. You don't detect any of those types of things or any kind of unconsecrated area within 30 feet. Or desecrated area, there we go.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going to say I took, 10 black cat mushrooms on my character sheet.
Sure thing. I would put it, since you know this is like a food stuff, I would put it in a ration quantity. So if you want like one ration worth of black cap, just write it as one ration black cap.
Okay, copy. I'll take 2.
All right, you notice as Mr. Serpentwind is following along here, his leather boots kind of colliding with the ground as he softly steps forward. He says, I must say I am pleasantly surprised with your caution so far and how capable you were. I don't think I've noticed any kind of magics that were used by young Jason there in the past, so I can't wait to see what other tricks you have up your sleeves.
Yeah, you weren't too bad either.
That was a interesting spell that you used. What's it
You-
called?
Do you mean me?
Yes, your attack with that arcane energy was
Oh,
efficient.
it is a concentrated arcane burst. It focuses mental energies into a strike against a person's psyche. It damages them mentally more than physically, but I have found it to be fairly effective in most battles.
Is it on the wizard spell list? It looks cool.
Unfortunately, this is NPC only, my friend.
Ah,
What you saw earlier was not magic of typical spell casting. I am a scion of Masela, so that's an ability that's been passed down through my bloodline.
Scions are rare indeed, but Scions of Masila are almost... I can't even imagine how rare you mark.
So what's the plan here, folks? Are we just gonna open every door on the way in, or do we have any sort of historical knowledge about which direction to go?
Ask the tour guide.
Well, certainly don't charge and just open anything. Let us take a moment. When you're getting ready to open a door, just announce it, and I will certainly just look around and make sure I see nothing dangerous. Like these barrels here, nothing dangerous, but see how these are made out of a darker wood than what you would expect, and I imagine much lighter. These are actually of elven make, if I am not mistaken. This lends credence to the concept that the elves were indeed here. Wonder what could be inside. Perhaps elvish wine?
I
Have a
inside him as he
crowbar.
bullshitting to try to sound smart.
Yum.
Give me a blind check there, Saline.
Jason will pull off his backpack, which looks like one of those old hiker book bags with like a sleeping bag rolled up on the bottom, and he's gonna pull out a crowbar and say, "Well, we can open one."
You don't get the sense that he's totally bullshitting you, Celine, but you do get the sense that he's trying to make it sound impressive, regardless if it actually is impressive or not.
Sure. She keeps it to herself.
I'll
let's open
I'll-
one up.
I'll take one of the barrels and pull it off.
All right, so
What
you
do we-
pull it off the pile, and you're going to like set it up vertically.
Yep, and then I'll well, I guess when I do that, does it slosh or what's the weight like? Is it hefty?
Yeah, let's find out. Give me a blind check here, Jason, as you try to pull one of these barrels off the pile.
Will do. Jason is not strong, guys. You can tell. He is noodle arms.
Blixel will help you if it looks like you're going to drop it.
Surprisingly, you don't have any problem here pulling this off. It is quite light, much like Mr. Serpentwind has said. You set one up vertically. Yes, inside there is a bit of sloshing. It does sound like there's liquid inside.
I'll like twirl the crowbar in my hand and like catch it and hand it to Blixel. You can do the honors, sir.
Oh, okay. It's just this part on the top here?
Yes, it's usually sealed really easily to allow you to just pop it right out. If this is elvish wine, it sounds like something you'd be interested in, right?
Oh, absolutely. All right. And Blixel will crack into it.
And
All
I
right.
do know the Count has an affinity for reds and whites.
You work the crowbar around the edges of the barrel here, doing the best you can to slowly open it up. It takes a good, I would say, 5 minutes or so before this lid is finally secured and popped free. And looking inside, you're disappointed to see that this is simply water.
It's water. Elvish water?
You notice the Mr. Serpent here starts like stroking his beard as he looks over towards Jason. I didn't even know there was such a thing as elvish water.
There is no such thing as elvish water. Maybe it was blessed by them or something, but my guess is this is just what they brought in. It's right by the entrance. It's easy to access for everyone. If they were camped out here, it would be pretty easy for them to get this downstairs or through those doors, which I expect we may find some kind of common room.
I should not suspect any kind of blessings, as you'll probably recall from your studies, if you are indeed a learned man, that the elves are not religious in any way.
No. When I say blessed, I mean they have their own magics and their own ways of doing things, as I'm sure you're aware, Mr. Serpentwind.
Enchanted, then, is what you meant to say?
This is a very long hallway down here to the south, everyone.
Can I open these doors?
Wait, let me just take a look real quick. I don't see anything dangerous.
This is what you're gonna do?
Well, I just want to make sure there's not something strange that you don't see, or perhaps that maybe looks a little bit odd, but you don't really notice the significance of the oddity.
Okay, but you think it's good?
I mean, from a dangerous perspective, I don't see anything of historical architectural significance. I must say, I'm not good at looking for, traps and things, so...
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna look for, since I'm actually touching it.
Do you say anything, or do you just start inspecting the door?
I just start inspecting the door. I don't want to point out that I don't trust him, but I'm definitely gonna do my own homework.
Fair enough. Blind check here, Cerilia, as you investigate the doors for any signs of traps.
And the door's made out of wood?
They are made out of... Actually, these doors are made out of stone. You don't detect any traps here, Cerilia, as you inspect the doors and the area right around them.
Okay, I'm gonna open this one up. Okay, Blixel?
Yeah, I'm gonna open mine up too at the same time.
You notice
3.
Mr. Serpentwind kind of looks backwards and notices everybody kind of staying quite a bit back, and he steps here.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
All right, as you open these doors, Cerilia and Blixel, looking inside, this room evokes the imagery of a meeting place for a lost group. While in years past, many may have walked its stone floors and gathered at its tables, now only silence remains. A weathered chest rests in the northwest corner of the room, its iron bands barely visible under a thick layer of dust.
All right. There's a room in here, guys.
Interesting. A common area, like I predicted. A place where they all could meet and eat. Is there anything on these tables, Adam? Like over here? Any papers or anything?
There's not what you see depicted on the screen. Obviously, there's the stock map. You don't see anything obvious here on the tables. It looks to be simply abandoned.
There's a chest over there.
Blix is going to start looking for traps around the chest.
Okay, once again, blind check there, please, Blixel. No, you don't see any signs of traps.
You can learn a lot about people about what they hold valuable. I've always heard that.
What is it that you hold valuable, Sir Blixel?
Oh, fame, fortune, all the normal stuff.
Guernica.
Who is this Garnica? Your lover?
Whoa, love. No, she's cool.
What do you mean by that?
Like physically cold to the touch. She was from some weird cold place, but she was very powerful, and she was pretty cool. She was very friendly, and I hope to see her again sometime soon. But
I see. Well, are you going to open that chest?
yeah. Let's see what's in it. Blixel will inspect the chests for traps first.
Okay, another blind check then, Blixel. Does not seem to be trapped.
And then he'll see if it's locked. If it's not locked, he'll just open it.
It is indeed locked. As you try to open it, it does not open.
Only we had our rogue.
Yes, well, he's got plenty of meetings today, I'm sure. He insisted on me fighting him, by the way.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
To come and join you. I told him that just simply the interest of this place alone is enough to make me want to come. But I guess he wanted to test my abilities. He's a bit blunt, isn't he?
Yeah, at times. Blixel, you can't open that thing?
No, I never learned the lockpick.
Do we
What did-
seriously come in here with no way to open locks?
What was the description of the room again, Adam? Are these beds?
Well, I got this crowbar. I mean, we can always bash something open.
Go ahead and scroll up a little bit for the description, but no, there is no beds in the room. There's tables and tables primarily.
Can I search the tables and see if something's in the tables and drawers and look around for items?
You sure can. Yeah, go ahead and give me a blind check.
Look for the key.
Yeah, I
Tucked
mean,
under the bottom.
yeah, we could find the key somewhere, Serena. We could find the key somewhere.
Surprisingly, with a nat 20, Dean, you don't find any keys and drawers or anything like that, but you do notice in the southeast corner of this room, in that little kind of cutout section, in a pile of dust, bigger than you've probably ever seen, there actually is a small key looking like it was discarded here.
Oh, shoot, I was going to use the crowbar.
I'll grab it and say, maybe this will help. And I'll hand it over to Jason.
Certainly appears to maybe be what we need. And I'll put it into the lock and see if it opens, Adam.
It does indeed. Seemingly fortune is with you today, even without your robe.
5% of the time, it works every time.
Nice. I'll pop open the trunk then, Adam. See what's inside.
Okay, as you do so, you notice that this is a felt-lined chest inside. It is not very deep at all. It looks like there are 2 scroll cases that rest inside the chest.
Boring.
It depends on what the scrolls have. It could be worth quite a fortune. Yeah, I can't read these. My magic works differently. But I think you said earlier that you're a wizard. Are you not, Celine?
Yes.
Yeah,
I am.
there's 2 of them.
Alright. I will attempt to read the scrolls.
While she is doing that, I'm going to go back over to it, Adam, and I'm going to knock around on the chest a little and see if there's any kind of false bottom or false top or anything. Maybe there's something additionally hidden inside.
Sure, yeah, go ahead and give me a blind check. Not that you can detect, no. Okay, doing a quick double check. Okay, so it says, unless it says otherwise, any creature that can understand a written language can read the script on a scroll and attempt to activate it. I don't think that allows you to identify specifically what it does, but what I will say is, based on your clerical training, Celine, you recognize both of these to be clerical scrolls. Give me a blind check, religion. I'm going to see if maybe you know what these actually are. Yeah, you sure do. One is a scroll of Revivify, and the other is a scroll of Lesser Restoration.
Ooh.
Oh, top drawer
Now
spells.
these are not Baldur's Gate 3 rules, right? So in order to learn them, I would have to be of the level to of the cleric level to actually.
To learn them? I don't think you can learn
Oh,
them.
not cleric spells. Yeah, that's right. It's only the wizard ones that you can.
Right.
Yeah, you can use them, but
Could
So
I
on your
use them
spell
without
one-
the cleric level?
So if they're higher than the level of spell you can cast, I know there's a chance for failure. So you might want to look these spells up in the compendium and see if, like, I don't know, somebody else in your party might be able to cast them. But I think both of the people that could are Or no, actually, no. There's at least one of you that can, because Revivify is on multiple spell lists.
Yeah, I'd be able to do it.
I think you're multi-class, though, right?
Yeah, does that prevent using scrolls?
It doesn't prevent it, but because it's higher level than what you can cast, I believe there is still that chance of failure.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I'm only 4 in Bard.
Right, yep.
Well, we can
No.
certainly hold on to it. Dean, are you a druid all the way, or did you multi-class as well?
I've trained expertly in just hand-to-hand combat and not needing of armor, so yeah, I'm a bit more multi-class. Just one dip.
Every character that could potentially use it has multi-class out of 3rd level spells. Ouch. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite you guys in the butt today.
Yeah, we're fine.
Using scrolls, you still need a material component, don't you?
You do not.
Oh, interesting. I can cast 3rd level spells, but I'm obviously not a cleric.
I think that's what he's saying. Like, you'd have to have 3rd level cleric slots. Is that true?
I will have to double check the exact wording of the rules, but that was my understanding without doing further digging.
That was my assumption as well. I know it works differently in Baldur's Gate, which is why we might be confused.
Well, if we need to use Revivify, it's worth the chance of it failing. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're at the point where we're casting
Better than
that,
nothing.
for sure.
I will say the lesser restoration one, if that turns into something that we need often, someone can cast it upon me, and then I can learn it.
Well, here, I'll give that one to, I guess Dean would be the only one with sufficient level, because druids get lesser resto, I think. So, I will give him that scroll, and I'll hold on to the Revivify one, I guess, unless anyone wants it.
I don't think it's necessary for anyone to carry it who cannot cast it. Also, before we open those doors, you think we should check up these stairs here? There could be something important.
And I'll just clarify real quick, for your Azure lore, Jason, you could learn this spell, but then when you cast it, you would need the components. So it's only the casting of the scroll. Basically, you spend the components to write it into the scroll, so it's pre-used. So if they cast it on you, it's on your list, but you would still have to supply the components.
Yeah, that's fair. As with any spells that I would cast, I still have to use the
Yes.
material components necessary. Yeah,
Exactly.
I
I just
understand
want to
that.
make sure we're on the same page so you don't get your hopes up for something.
No, not necessarily, but like in terms of like the lesser restoration one, like I could learn that one, and I don't
Yeah.
think that one requires material components.
I don't believe
at
it
all.
does, no.
Greater does, if I remember correctly.
It
but not
does, and that one's pretty pricey, yeah.
I
These
vote we
stairs-
open doors down here before we go up the stairs.
Are those stairs going down, Adam?
Those
Looks
stairs
like they're
are
going
going
up.
down, yes.
Oh. Well, there's another door on this side, too, and then there's 2 on that side, so...
Blixel on 3?
Yeah. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3.
All right, you throw the doors open. You notice a small interior chamber here. You can see an unlit brazier on the northern wall, and what looks like a set of stairs going up.
Hey, Adam, these doors here, can I put my ear on it and see if I hear anything on the other side of these doors?
You sure can. Blind check, please. No, it is silent as a graveyard.
Saline,
Yes.
can you read Old Andu?
With prep?
What's that mean?
Give me 10 minutes and I can read any language.
Oh, well, if it helps, I am quite fluent in Andu.
My proficiency is in the older variety of the language.
Well, sir, that is the older variety. You don't mean Anwirian, the common day tongue, do you?
Well, I know them both.
Well, then you should be all set. People sometimes think that there's a difference between Andu and ancient Andu, but it's really the same dialect.
This is the defensive position, Blixel.
And as you can't tell there, Serena, you do notice a skeleton on the ground in the northern part of this room.
Is it missing a skull?
It is not, no.
But is it spooky or scary?
No.
Okay.
I investigate it and search.
Give me a 1d20 roll here, Serena. Okay, while you might not be able to see it there on the map, surprisingly, what is wadded up underneath this skeleton seems to be a cloak.
Sweet. Is it dusty?
I'll be ginger pulling
It
it out.
is.
We don't want to disturb the bones. Not so rough, not so rough.
Serena just like tosses the bones aside and picks up
Ignores
the cloak and shakes it to get the dust off.
The bones clatter to the side, you pick up the cloak, start shaking off the dust, and you are pleasantly surprised to see that this is actually quite a fine cloak, and in fact it is embroidered with golden spider web filigree. It looks quite valuable.
Oof, that would look great on you.
Oh, I'll try it on.
Adam, since this is a full skeleton here, can I maybe like look over the pelvis and like the head and see if I can determine the type of humanoid this was, if it was humanoid?
Sure, yeah, give me a blind check.
I guess I'll also do another age check with it and see if I can compare it to that skull I have. I'll pull it out of my bag and see if they look similar.
They look similar, but you're not able to gather any additional information other than what you've already determined.
Interesting. And from my knowledge of this culture, is it common for them to not bury their dead?
The elves, is that what you're assuming when you say this culture, or are you referring to Andu, those who built this construction?
I guess I'm thinking that these skeletons might have been here before the elves, based on their age. So that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe the old Andu more than the
Best of your
elvish.
knowledge is the old Andus would burn their dead, so this doesn't look typical.
Is the cloak, does it seem to be made of a certain style, elven versus human?
It is a very vibrant fabric made of like a black and green kind of blend. You can't tell what exact quality of cloth or even type of cloth this is. It doesn't look like a linen or a wool. It's some kind of other cloth that you're not familiar with.
It is very nice. My
Yep.
guess is if it kept up that long, looking that good, while the creature who was wearing it deteriorated around it, my assumption would be it has some sort of magical property to
I do a
resist
little
age.
spin in front of everybody when I get down there.
Does this mean that you've put it on?
Oh yeah, I put it on as soon as Blixel said it would look good on me.
Oh, okay. I missed that part. All right. So yeah, you place it on. It does hang. How tall is Serena again?
Let's see here. 5'9".
So I would say it really only goes to like your upper calf. So you feel like it's a little bit shorter than what you would want it to be, but not terribly so.
But how's the fit or the style anyway? Does she look good in it?
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? So you have to find a beholder and ask them.
Oof, don't want to do that in here.
She's expecting a flood.
You look great in that.
It is quite nice.
Thanks, Blixel.
Hey Adam, I've been watching this our tour guide guy. Is he Anurian? Human, right?
He's Anwirian, yep.
How is he? Is he putting a light source, or what am I reading? Is he needing light?
He seems to. It looks as though he's kind of sharing Jason's light as Jason's spinning around and so forth.
Okay.
And of course, you're still holding onto your produced flame, so there's quite a bit of overlapping light here right now.
I didn't mean to close the door. I'm so sorry.
Take that, Dean.
It's hard.
I bump into the door.
Shall we open these?
Got in his face.
Let's do it. We got nice clothes here. Let's get some outfits.
So far, we found 2 spell scrolls and a extremely lavish cloak, so it does seem like there's some things to find in here. But it's almost weird. That body back there was... If it was Andu, it should have been cremated. If it was Elvish, well, they have their own rituals. It just seems odd. Like something either came in or was already here.
Yeah. Something drove them out of here, probably. Elves are smart. Probably got out when it was bad.
Nobody told the guard.
The bones make it more curious for me. The skull placed looking over the staircase, and the skeleton in the room looking over the entrance. I would wager if we went to the other side, where the other arrow slits were, we'd probably find another skeleton. But this is just me rambling. Feel free to open the door. I have your back.
1, 2, 3.
Blixel, your door flings open, but Serena, yours seems to be stuck.
Serena starts like throwing her shoulder into it, trying to open it.
Give me an athletics check here, Serena.
Listen, it's not that hard. You just push it open.
Your shoulder smacks into it. The door does not immediately open, but Blixel and Serena, as you're standing here, you hear a very strange sound that emanates from your south. It almost sounds like a guttural inhalation of breath that goes on far longer than any human should be able to make that sound. And that is where we'll go ahead and take our 15-minute break, folks.
Crap.
All right.
Get
All
ready.
right, see everybody back in 15. Alrighty, everybody, we are back in the second half of our session. Let's get you back into the ruins. Okay, super quick recap. Remember, you just opened this door. You heard a very strange inhalation of breath that went on much longer than to be normal.
Okay. And detect evil and good, nothing is pinging from that direction.
No.
Well, that didn't sound friendly.
I will say, in case it becomes important, that Livy said she was rebooting something, so she may not be able to move if she wants to.
She's behind a stuck door. She's okay.
Yeah, Serena's like, mine's not opening. Hey, Dean, I think there's an animal in here. Do you want to come make friends with it?
Really? I heard nothing in those doors when I listened earlier.
It's some kind of weird inhalation. I'm going to go check it out. This is where histories are made.
Mr. Serpentwind, does that sound acceptable?
Yes, we must find the orb. It's going to be in here somewhere.
What's blocking the door? Serena, why can't you open your door?
It needs something called WD-40. It's a special chemical agent that helps with old rusty hinges and whatnot. I did not mean to shut the door.
Hey. I'm not that brave.
Adam, can I listen to this door here? Does this sound like where the noise is coming from in this room here?
You heard it once and then it went away, but yeah, you can make a blind check here to see if you hear anything inside. No, you do not.
Don't hear nothing.
Blixel just says softly, "We come in peace," in Elvish.
All right, as you step to there, Blixel, one moment. Okay, so I'm going to assume that these doors are not a foot thick of stone, at which point I will say you do indeed detect an undead creature through this door.
Okay.
Be a hell of a door if it was a foot thick of stone. Holy
Right,
shit.
right.
Blixel sort of pull at his cloak, do the yeet, 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 and then turn around and go, "It's in here." And he'll do the,
Was that yeet, yeet, yeet? Was that like audible, like you're trying to get its attention?
No.
Oh,
Not
okay.
audible. Just him pulling at his collar. And he'll creep back. "I've detected something in that door, behind that door down there."
Can you ascertain what type it is? Undead, you said?
Was I able to tell what type it is?
Undead, yeah. Beyond that, I don't think it allows you to do it.
Okay, so I know it's undead though. Okay, yeah, something that is undead. I'm not sure who or what, but something that shouldn't be alive.
Well, we are delving into an
Or
ancient
maybe it
ruin.
should be alive.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Serena. It's just most of them want to rip her heads off.
Maybe it just didn't mean to end up in this state.
Hey, Adam, can I unlock the door on this side? Can I help that door be opened? I'm thinking bottleneck.
So it's not locked; it's just stuck. If you want to like use some strength and try to pull it free, you certainly could.
Hey, Serena, let's get this door open. We'll help each other.
Wait, we want this thing to get in here easily?
Oh, you don't have to. Adam, I'll do it myself to try to open this door.
All right, athletics check.
I'll help you, I'll help you.
Yes, you do indeed pull free its its stuck mechanism, and it is thrown open.
Yeah, that way, if we're in trouble, it should be easier to get out.
Is there another way to go, or do we have to go through the undead thing?
There's a hallway that extends to our right.
And we haven't
Hello?
gone in the basement yet.
Well, don't forget also that outside over here, if we go down, there's also a long hallway down this way. So that seems to me to just be an individual room based on the architecture of this building. There's a hallway not more than 20 feet over there, then it can't be that large inside of that room, unless it continues further south.
Could also continue down or up, perhaps. We don't know what's on the other side. Could be a way to another level.
I'd
Well,
like to sneak past it.
we don't want to leave anything behind us, right? What if we have to run? So we have the advantage of it, we knowing it's there, so why don't we prep ourselves, force it out, and take care of it? It would also give us an idea of what may be further down in these ruins.
I can't fault your logic, I suppose.
All right, range people line up. Us frontliners on either side of the door. When it comes out, we all blast it.
When you're ready.
Are you okay with this, Serena?
Sorry, which door?
This one. Do we open it from this diagonal?
It looks like it opens inward from your side, Blixel, into the room. All right. As you open this door, Blixel, you notice almost immediately several humanoid silhouettes reach out with dark claws. The light from the lantern behind you shifts, revealing that they are connected to each other by a great mass of flowing darkness.
I changed my mind. Close the door.
Oh,
Damn.
At about the same time, you hear the sound of another door opening, and I'm going to go ahead and put us into initiative.
Here we go.
that thing does not look nice.
I regret this decision.
All right, make sure I've got everybody this time. I believe I do.
My
All right.
bad luck on initiative just continues, even with a brand new character.
It's just your fate. Saline is first to react.
Excellent. Did we get a sense of the direction of the other door opening? Like, where's that coming
You
from?
did not, Saline.
Okay. Then that tells me that it's somewhere up there. So, what I'm going to do is I can only kind of see the token, and my party is telling me it looks really mean. So instead of running into the sheer disaster, I'm going to let the people get ready.
Hold on. Before you do anything, I'm going to play my card.
Okay.
And this may change things because it's a very random card.
Uh-oh.
Brave. All right, Shadow World opening. A rift to the
Oh,
Shadow World
man.
opens within 30 feet of the player of this card's character. So, 30 feet from you, Blixel. Where would you like this to open?
Right in front of the door. Like pointed towards the thing, so it has to go through it.
So, rift is not like a physical thing. It's a tear between the two worlds. So don't think of it as like a blocker in any sense. Knowing that, you want to put it there?
Can I put it behind the thing?
You can, yeah. Anything you can see within 30 feet of you.
Sure. I'll put it right behind it.
Okay. All right, and then please roll me a d20. Okay. Yeah, so what you will notice as perhaps it's the engagement with this creature. You're not sure exactly what this is, but yes, you notice almost like a heaviness to the air behind this creature. It almost looks like a fog, perhaps, but it's more black and purplish than any kind of clear or translucent. And you can see little cracks almost in reality itself.
This place is crazy.
All right, Saline.
But I can't see any of that, so I'm going to stick to my original plan, which is going to be to upcast Bless on my 4 other player characters. So I will click that. So everyone but me and Jimmy Snake Guy is now blessed.
He just became a mobster.
Car salesman.
And then I'm going to move back here. It's a little bit away.
Okay, creature's turn next. You are going to notice between the two of you, Blixel and Serena, you're going to notice as it seems to merge or converge, I should say, its thickness seems to be focused now in that northwestern square. And it makes both of its attacks against Serena. Serena, 2 defense rolls, please. As these shadowy claws reach out, they do indeed grasp upon you both times. You are going to suffer 24 necrotic. I believe you are resistant to necrotic. So that will be 12 necrotic, but your strength is going to be reduced by 4 points. Blixel, your turn.
Wait, sorry. I'm not sure how to reduce my strength.
I could take care of that for you real quick. 1 sec.
Thanks.
Oh my god! You should see this thing. It's crazy. Well, shoot.
I don't think you have anything to shoot with, do you?
Does it look like this thing could open the door if it was shut?
I mean, it has shadowy clawed hands. It doesn't, I will say that when you're looking at it, it doesn't actually look like a physical thing. It looks like an amorphous blob of shadowy clawed hands and silhouettes.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so Blixel will go down here. And the portals thing, whatever, rift is behind it, right?
Correct. Yep, that's represented now by the twisty black bluey circle thing.
Okay, so Blixel's going to try to hit it with a short sword. Can I use a hero point on that?
You sure can.
Does that factor in bless as well?
Oh, no. Let me roll plus real quick.
You should have it clicked on your sheet. There's 2 spots.
That will indeed connect with an 18.
Okay. And I'm going to use mobile flourish.
Okay.
And I try to push it 5 feet away from me into the shadow rift.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Based on this thing's immunities and the fact that it's an amorphous being, I'm going to say you cannot push it.
Okay, fair enough. I thought that might be the case.
I will go ahead and apply that damage. Is this a regular short sword?
Yeah, these are just regular.
I will say you also realize your sword isn't as effective as you would hope.
Okay, but I do get to do.
Did you post your regular damage too?
Oh, I got 1 extra, so total of six damage.
Okay.
And since I attacked, I'm probably just gonna attack again with my offhand.
Yes, that will connect as well.
And that's 9.
Stabbing into this shadowy stuff.
I'm not gonna. I guess I'll move back to my other spot.
And remind me, do you have mobile or anything? Oh, just to there. Okay.
Yeah. Just to there. Because no, I can't. I don't want to take hits, and that's the
Yeah.
end of my turn.
Just checking that. All right.
Yeah, draw him out, or unless you guys want to take him on yourself.
No. I want it to come out, but Brooks is like, my weapons don't do anything.
Serena, Shipwrecker feels mightily heavy in your hands after being struck by this creature. Your turn. What would you like to do?
What if we just shut the door?
Go ahead.
Serena shuts the door.
Okay, the door is shut. I will say, after you shut the door, you notice the shadowy clawed hand seeping underneath the floor.
Yeah, it's an amorphous blob.
It's okay, dude. Like, I would have done it too. I would have shut the door and give by some time. It's a good
Well,
move.
why was it hanging out in there in the first place?
Probably because of that rift that's in there.
Yeah, maybe it'll get the urge to go home.
Go in
That's
your
okay.
home.
Go home. All right. I assume those shadowy hands can't take an opportunity attack.
They're barely under the crack of the door, so you sure don't think so.
Serena's gonna stand here and hold her action to swing with Shipwrecker if it comes out.
All right, so you're ready in action to an attack if the creature exits that door. Anything else on your turn, Serena? All right, before Mr. Serpentwind's turn, Saline, you notice suddenly coming from the southwest is a very disturbing looking creature. It flies right up towards you, hovering the entire time. As it does so, you notice this flying creature looks like the disembodied skin of a once living person. Its mouth is twisted into a tortured scream, and its eyes gleam a baleful blue.
Cute.
What the heck?
I will point out, because sometimes this artwork can be a little bit deceptive, that this creature does look to be corporeal. It's physical. It does not look like it is a ghost or that sort of thing.
Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it.
All right, with that in mind, as it gets closer to you, you notice it opens its mouth as though it is screaming. Nobody hears anything, but Saline, give me a wisdom saving throw.
You got it, boss. Can I hero point this?
You can use your reaction to hero point this if you wish. With an 18, you succeed, suffering no ill effects of this. After this strange scream, the creature then lashes out with 2 claw attacks. I'll need 2 defense rolls, please.
You got it. Sorry.
You evade the first attack, but the second rake of the claw catches you in the arm. You will suffer 3 slashing and 6 necrotic for a total of 9 points of damage. All right, we move to Mr. Serpentwind's turn. Noticing that there is now a new opponent here in this area, he is going to attempt to blast it a couple of times with his arcane burst. And both of those will indeed strike. You notice some of the skin of this creature seems to almost wither as it rattles around, hanging loosely upon its body.
Nice to have in a pinch, this guy.
Yeah.
Jean immediately sees Serena's Strength. You said that her. Does she look different?
I think it's probably pretty visible that she's not standing as tall as she did before. Maybe she's breathing just a little bit heavier, holding Shipwrecker in hand.
So, just for imagery, I'm ruffling through my bag as I step back here and digging for my spell scroll that I just got, thinking about using it. But I'm going to say, draw him out. There's another creature in here, I hear.
Yeah, I see him.
Okay. And I do not. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, let's see. I see him. It's time for my boy. I think it's time for my boy. Okay, action will be Wildfire Spirit.
All right, feel free to drag your Wildfire Spirit onto the map.
And it's 10 feet. I need to drop him there.
When you said 10 feet, what was that part?
Anytime you pop them, something happens within 10 feet.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Let's see, yeah. Yep, each creature within 10 feet other than me. But Dex saving throw, please, from the weird...
So that will be a spell effect roll from you. I believe it uses your stats, right?
Roger that.
He is not affected by that.
Well, can I hero point?
Absolutely, you can, yeah.
Yeah.
He is not affected by that.
Okay, roger that. So, that's my action. $25. I'll say there, 25. Okay, now I'm officially ending my turn, and then I'm gonna... My Wildfire Spirit acts after me. Yeah, so it will move here and do the fiery teleport thing. Get our girl out of there.
All right, yeah, go ahead and post that. Okay. So another spell effect roll, please. It is not affected by that.
I will burn it again.
Another hero point? Okay. Yes, it is affected now. All right, so it will take 4 points of fire damage. All right, and how far can you teleport? I forgot this.
Up to, so it's Wildfire, the Spirit, willing, are you willing, Saline?
I'm willing. I don't want to be here.
Teleport up to 15 feet to an occupied space that I can see. So I'm going to bring the girl to the north of, bring Saline to the north of, whatever that dude's name is, our tour guide. Serpent Wind.
So up to 15
my position or from yours?
I think it's from the Spirit, so it would be from your spot, right, Saline?
From the...
So
yes.
I guess what you would say is the Spirit's the one that's doing the teleporting, right? So the Spirit can move up to 15 feet. So put the Spirit wherever you want within 15, and then obviously Saline has to be within 5 of that.
Oh, okay, copy that. Let me put him back. It says a spirit.
Yeah, so it's teleporting from the place of the spirit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm putting Saline behind me.
Okay, yeah, we can say that works. All right, so we're going to shoot Saline back here.
Thank you.
Well, I wish I could do it further, but...
Okay, Jason.
All right. Seeing multiple different battlefields, I guess you could say, Jason's going to move down here and kind of split the difference between the two. And you see he takes the staff that he has and he kind of brings it forward into his chest, and he kind of rotates it in his hand, and then he pushes it into the earth a little bit, and you see this like billowing fog kind of rolls out from underneath him. And I guess I'll use one of my other bloodline abilities, the major ability, and I'll create that miasma with a 30-foot radius around me. I think I can do an aura, right?
Yep, we'll go ahead and get that on so everybody knows where that's at.
I got it. Here we go.
Actually, I'll
So-
take care of it because I don't think you'll be able to set it so everybody can see.
Oh, okay. And Jason will just calmly like pull the staff back from him, and that you see that fog kind of continues to billow out from under his feet, and from underneath it you see these tiny spectral hands every now and then pop through and kind of grab the earth and then go back down. And it's like, you know, like these spirits are pulling forth, and he'll just say, as long as you stay within the spear, I should be able to help you take less damage. Don't run too far.
Oh, these are the good spirits then. Okay, noted.
They'll protect you.
Oh God.
All right, and of course, please keep track of the HP of the miasma there, Jason, when it starts to deduct stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna do just put 30 temp HP, if that's all right with you.
As long as you keep it straight, I'm good with that. All right, Saline.
All right.
All right. Well, I have one target, so we are going to. Do I want to burn a third level for this? Not really. I will cast Magic Missile at 2nd level at the guy who tried to kill me.
Okay. 2nd level, so we'll multiply that by 4, so 8 points of force damage as the magical blue darts. I don't remember if you described yours differently or not. Am I remembering that wrong?
Sounds good enough to me.
All right, the 4 magical blue darts flash out, striking into the creature and wounding it.
Unfortunate. Okay. Well, it caught up to me with.
Blixel goes out of turn using a super action surge.
No, sorry, I did not mean to do that.
No worries.
And I will continue to fall back to here. Actually, I will interact with object to close this door. Knowing, or can I do that? Are
Yeah,
these
you can.
doors linked? Yeah. So just to block line of sight from that thing. And then that's that.
All right, Serena, Blixel, you will notice as that grotesque inhalation of breath, some fetid, unholy air sucked in once again, this way longer than you would expect, as the hands reach under, grasping onto the ground, pulling this shadow stuff out. Serena, that will trigger your ready to action. You may make your attack. With a 12, you will miss. Unfortunately, Serena, you're targeted by both of these attacks again. I need 2 defense rolls, please, Serena.
I'm one of you. Stop hurting me.
You are hit on the first one, but the second one you do manage to evade.
Nice. I'll use my reaction to take the damage from it.
Okay, so let me just double check the wording of the miasma real quick.
Sure. What Serena sees is this like spectral blue, another woman, you know, like ghastly figure kind of stands up and puts her hands up and takes the hit for you, and then kind of shatters around you in this mist.
So what I was checking is based on the wording, so this will take the full 12. So even though Serena actually has resistance to necrotic, since the miasma is taking the damage in her place, you obviously don't have resistance on the miasma.
Yep. Cool. And that should also absorb the strength drain too, right? Or how does
No,
that
it
work?
only absorbs damage.
Gotcha. How many? What was it again? 9? 12?
12. Serena,
Gotcha.
I'm going to
Okay.
apply that 1 additional minus strength. Okay, there we are. That was the creature's turn, and we move to Blixel's turn.
Okay. Blixel is going to cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
Dissonant Whispers. Okay, yes, let's see it. Spell effect roll, please.
Can I hero point that one?
You sure can. Yes, with a 20, that will succeed. So this deals psychic damage. So yes, the creature will be wounded by that. And then it will immediately use its reaction to seep once again underneath the doorway.
We gotta get out of here! And Blixel starts running. Oh no, there's another one! But yeah, that's the end of his turn. As he will run to be amongst his friends.
Nicely grouped up for an AoE. I like it. Okay, anything else, Blix?
Nope. That's it.
All right, Serena.
Serena's like, there's something in there? Should I?
We need help. Bring your
Oh.
feeble body in here.
That looks like something that can actually take a hit.
It's better than a blob.
So I can reach from here, right?
You sure can.
I guess I wouldn't have any way of knowing what damage this thing's been dealing out. I will swing with Shipwrecker.
Yes, that will connect. All right, as your magical weapon connects, you notice you wound the creature. However, you notice it is resistant to your cold damage.
Darn it. I attack again.
Hitting again. Wounding it again.
And for bonus action, I'm going to Pam. Am I close enough for that?
Yes, you are. Yes, that will hit. And the creature collapses to the ground.
Nice.
There you go, guys.
I'd chop its head off or something. That looks like one of those things that just comes back.
Well, I am out of turns.
Okay, on the creature's turn, Serena, since this was just you, roll me a d20, please. Oh, no! The flaps of skin are still moving! The creature hovers to you, Serena, reaching out in undeath to bring you with it. Please give me a wisdom saving throw as it releases a silent scream. You succeed on this. It then slashes out with 2 claw attacks. 2 defense rolls, please. You evade the first one, but the second one does catch you.
Can I hero point that or?
You sure
Okay.
can if you wish, yeah. Okay, that'll raise your defense roll to a 12. Unfortunately, still connects. So that will be 10 slashing. You're not currently raging, right? So that's 10 full slashing. 1 necrotic, since you are resistant to necrotic. Okay, Mr. Serpentwind's turn. He is going to unleash another arcane burst, trying to bring this creature down. Both will connect, and yes, the creature will be both downed and then flat out killed.
For real this time.
This place is haunted.
Okay, Dean.
Fiddling with his bag. Gonna walk up. I don't. I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm just gonna click. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on her.
Okay. Okay, reaching out, restoring 7 HP to Serena.
And then that'll be my action. Oh, and that'll be end of. Excuse me. The end of Dean's turn. I'm gonna send my fiery spirit to get in front of Jason, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, Jason's turn.
Don't worry, he's friendly.
Yeah, Jason doesn't seem too disturbed by it. You get a feeling that this dude's probably seen some crazy stuff, so that probably doesn't bother him in the slightest. And he's going to move to more central area so his miasma can cover everybody, and he's going to lift up his staff and he's going to hold his action for a wind lash, and he's going to take it on that amorphous creature when it comes out, if it comes out.
Okay. All right, so you've pre-casted Wind Lash. Saline.
Alright, I'm going to interact with the object, open this door, see what I see. I am currently concentrating on Bless, so I cannot ready a spell to attack this thing. But what I will do is I will use my bonus action to apply a healing word to Serena.
Okay.
Just to help her get a bit more up there. And I will do that when I find it on my list. And then I'm going to back up 10 feet.
Okay, we will see as the creature seeps through the ground once again. Jason, that will trigger your readied action. That will
Can
be
I
a
inspiration?
fumble. Yeah, you can burn your inspiration. Go ahead and click it.
Why not? I don't have that inspiration button, so I'll just re-roll if that's cool with you.
Yep, yeah, just make sure you remove your inspiration. That's good.
Yep, got it. Here we go. 15.
15 will indeed connect. Okay, so you cast the spell, the slash moves out, strikes into it, wounds it. Okay, and then you will notice as the creature moves, rolls right underneath the flame spirit to get here.
I did have a question. The wind lash will push a target 5 feet back, and it's wind. It's not a weapon, so would that be different than like his flourish that he did?
Potentially, but he was already against the wall when you did it, so he wouldn't be able to be pushed any further away.
I got you. Yeah, so it's directly away from me now that I read it. So.
Oh,
I couldn't push him
actually,
into the
yeah.
room.
So your limit on that is actually 20 feet anyhow. So let's see. So he would have been here. So let's see. That's 5, 10. It would have struck him there. So you moved him here, and then 15, 20, 25. Yeah, so he can still get there.
Cool. All right.
All right, so it sounds like, Serena, you want to use your reaction to strike out at him?
That's correct.
Yes, a 20 will connect. Okay, as you strike into the creature, you notice that it is resistant to cold, but your piercing, magical piercing, is fully effective. Okay, so now the creature is there. Sentinel, well, actually, either one, Sentinel or Polearm. Yeah, this one's a shadow stuff, so it's hard to even tell how strong he is. Whoop, ignore that. Okay, both of his attacks are going on Jason. So, Jason, 2 defense rolls, please.
What a butthead.
He is
Oof.
going to strike you both times.
I'll use my reaction on, let's say, the first one.
Okay, sure. To absorb the by the miasma.
Yep, I'll absorb the damage with the miasma.
Okay, 17. I think that busts your miasma and has some carryover.
Nope, just 1 point left on the miasma. I had 30 minus 12, brought it to 18.
Yes. You're right. My bad. I thought the previous one was 15. Okay. Are you familiar with how to apply stat penalties on the sheet?
Yeah, I can take care of that, Adam.
All right, cool deal. And the second one also connects.
Perfect.
15 necrotic and 1 more strength drain.
Okay, so a total of 3 strength drain. Bah.
Yes. Yep. Okay, Blixel.
Okay. Blixel doesn't like this. And my weapons aren't very good. So Blixel will just reach out and cast Cure Wounds on Jason.
So remind me, what is in your hands currently, Blixel?
2 swords, but with the Bard College or whatever, you can use a sword as a focus.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you just kind of tap him with your sword. Nice.
Looks like he's going to stab me for a second. And whoa.
Yeah, I forget where it puts that.
Yep, no worries. I think you're right. I seem to remember that for his College of Swords, right?
Yeah. So hopefully I'm not cheesing it, and maybe I get that later. I'm not sure. I didn't see it on my sheet.
I'll do a quick double check, but we can assume you've got it for now. Yeah, okay. Yep, it's under bonus proficiencies. If you're proficient with a simpler martial weapon, you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your bard spell. So yep, you're all good.
All right, sweet. So you're gonna cure him? Oof, not the best roll there, but 5 health.
And then it helps.
Since he doesn't use any movement, he's going to turn invisible because of his cloak.
I believe you have to spend a hero point for that, right?
Yeah, but he did his last turn, right? Doesn't that trigger it or no?
Let me just reread the exact rules of this. So technically, you spent a hero point last turn?
Yeah.
So did you move last turn?
Yes.
So then no, this would not trigger. So basically how it works is you spend a hero point on your turn, and then if you haven't moved on your turn, you end your turn, then you become invisible.
Yeah, so if he were to do it now, he would be invisible in that position, right?
If he spends a hero point on something, but remember there has to be like a trigger for a hero point, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because it says for 1 minute. If the character does not spend any movement during their turn, they become invisible at the end of their turn.
Right. So so I probably could have worded that better, but the intention is when you spend your hero point, if the text right there pertains, then it takes effect, right? So you spend the hero point, and then for the next minute, if the character doesn't move during the turn, hang on, let me read this one more time.
Oh, I see. The minute is how long you're invisible, not how long you have to use it.
Yes, that was the intention. But let me just hang on 1 second. Yeah, okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to reinterpret this. So you used a hero point last turn. So for the next 10 rounds, if you don't move on your turn, you become invisible at the end of your turn. That is the intention.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, that's what I thought it was, but I'm happy to go with whatever it was
No,
supposed to
yeah.
be.
I just had to reread it to make sure I had the rule in my head. So yeah, and honestly, I forgot you spent a hero point last turn or about this anyhow.
Okay. Cool. So, I mean, if that's the case, that's what he's going to try to do is just heal him and then go invisible, and hopefully the thing doesn't attack him.
Okay, so you end your turn here without moving, and now you're invisible.
Yep, that's the intent for Blixel.
Okay.
He goes, bye!
All right, so you will vanish from sight. Now, once this is used, right, then it won't keep reapplying, just to make sure we're in the same concept.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
All right. Okay, all right, so that's the end of your turn, Blixel. Then you can go ahead and pass your turn, and we'll move to Serena.
Okay, Serena's just gonna keep swinging. She's only seen him do necrotic damage, so.
Okay, yeah, make your attack. That will miss. That will connect. All right, just like before, you will notice that your piercing damage does indeed wound it, but cold damage is resisted.
And the Pam will be my bonus action. Doesn't look like it hits, right?
No, that will miss.
You can only reckless attack on a action, not a bonus action, right?
You would have to declare it before you rolled, but it would have applied to all your attacks this round.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
All right, Mr. Serpentwind is going to disengage and move up to here. Ian.
All right. I'm gonna move into Serena Square, and my cone. I'm assuming if I do a cone, it will come out of the corner.
Yeah, you can choose to do that.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, and puts his hands together, and we'll do.
Okay, spell effect roll.
I'm going to do an inspiration.
Okay, go ahead and click your inspiration. We'll take that new roll. No, he is going to succeed on that. So let's see, you dealt 14 damage fire, so that would be halved to 7. You're also going to notice that he's resistant to fire damage.
I was hoping for the opposite. Okay, from there, that's 5 feet of movement. And that'll be 20. Now from here, I'm not ending my. That's end of Dean's turn. And now fiery teleportation. How high is the ceilings here, Adam?
I would say about 12 feet.
Okay. He's just gonna is it where he lands? I mean, 5 feet. Each creature within 5 feet of the space of spirit left. Okay, good. So he's going to a fiery teleportation to here. And then I will, here's the text.
Okay, so you teleported from where you left and reappeared there?
Yes, and then whoever's next to me when I teleported gets dex save.
Okay, yep, so spell effect roll. Yes, this will affect him. Once again, you see he is resistant to fire.
Does that hit Serena not also?
No, it's where he left, not where he appeared.
Gotcha. Okay. Alright, Adam, it's been a while since I played a spellcaster, but remind me, if I make a spell attack within melee distance of a creature and it's not a melee spell attack, I get disadvantage on it, correct?
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
If I'm targeting a creature with a spell that's within 5 feet of me or within melee range, is that disadvantage?
It depends on the spell. If it's a melee spell, no. If it's a ranged spell, then yes.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna give it a shot. This Windlash is a melee spell attack. Even though it's got a range that's pretty long, it's a melee spell attack. So would that apply? You want the text?
If it says melee spell, then you're good, regardless of the range.
Alright, cool. Alright, so it's a melee spell attack, so he'll use his Windlash, and here we go.
Yes, 20 will connect.
Push him back 5 feet.
And magically damage him.
Nice. Alright, I don't know if this dude has reach, so I'm going to try to give myself some space. So I'm going to move back and then position myself in this corner back here.
Okay. Saline.
Okay, well, I've lost line of sight, so I'm going to come 5, 10. Now I can see it. And I will... Let's see.
I'm invisible in front of you. Don't blow my head off.
Let's see what Saline's got. Fear doesn't work on undead. We are going... Knowing Blixel is there somewhere, but not knowing exactly how it works, I will upcast Magic Missile at 3rd level to
Okay.
smack him.
So that is times 5, right? So
Correct.
20?
Yep.
Okay, so 5 magical darts reach out, striking into him, wounding him badly, but he is still there.
That's alright. So I have 20 more feet of movement. I do not want to run backwards for reasons. So I will go 5. Oops, I didn't mean to close the door. 5, 10, 15, 20. And now we're here.
Okay, on the creature's turn, it is going to move through your space, Blixel. Would you like to take an opportunity attack?
Does it look like it's going for my friends?
It's rolling through you, for sure, past you.
No, I'm going to play it cool and invisible.
Okay, it's moving out of your reach, Jason. Would you like to take an opportunity attack?
No, thank you. I don't want to incur any wrath.
All right, it is going hard on Celine. Celine, 2 defense rolls, please.
I decline. I will use a portent roll to give myself a natural 20.
Okay, that'll be on the first one, so that will be considered a fumble.
That is a
Go ahead and throw
fumble
a
for him.
melee fumble.
Heck yeah.
Aw.
He's quite embarrassed, but you probably can't tell. Second attack.
Okay. So defense roll.
Yes, please.
I
You
will
you will shield?
I will shield if I am hit, or do I have to declare that first?
No, you don't. That does
Okay.
miss you.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say you're going to spend a hero point.
No.
I think shield says if you are hit. So like you
Yeah.
have to be hit to use shield.
Yes, yep. Okay, that is the creature's turn. Blixel.
Okay. It's time for Bliss to get over his fear, and he jumps out of the shadows.
Wait. Could I use my reaction to Sentinel because he attacked?
You already did that previously. Your turn hasn't come back around yet.
Oh, I wasn't sure if we were at the top. Okay, thanks.
Sure. All right, so you leave invisibility from moving Blixel.
Yep. And Bliss still comes at whatever this thing can be called a back. And he's going to try to short sword it.
All right, you stab forward your short sword. Gee, I'm going to say because both of them are there, I'm going to give you flanking, and that will hit.
All right. There we go. And this is going to be, let's say, defensive flourish.
Okay. All right, 10 plus your die roll.
Just a 1.
All right, 11.
So 11.
Once again, realizing it is resistant to your attacks.
Yes, but not immune, right? Doesn't seem to be
Correct.
immune.
It is hurting
Okay.
it. You're tearing some of that shadow stuff away, just not as much shadow stuff as you'd expect.
All right. And bonus action, other short.
Yeah, that'll connect as well. Scraping more of this darkness away from the blob.
You leave them alone. I was here the whole time. You didn't see me, stupid.
Serena.
Okay, I'm gonna do a reach attack here.
Yes, that will connect. Wounding it, hitting again. Wounding it again. You can see just a small amount of the shadow is still there, enough that it ducks the backside of your polearm. All right, Mr. Serpentwind doesn't like being this close to danger. He is going to disengage once again. Ian.
Okay, Dean looks down, sees him at his feet. He's going to stomp. Sees a little bit of darkness left. He's going to just stomp at it with his feet, with an unarmed strike.
All right, trying to stomp the heck out of it. I like it. That will connect. Damaging it, but it is resistant to your strike.
And since I did my action to use a monk weapon or unarmed attack, I will do my bonus action for the same thing.
You stomp it down. Go ahead and post damage. And as you lift your foot back up, there is no shadow remaining. Or is there? Maybe there's just a tiny, tiny bit. But even if he makes a save, it won't do much. So we're going to assume he is dead.
Yeah. We can just say that Jason pumped a couple of wind lashes into him.
Fair enough. All right, you guys have survived another battle.
I wasn't
Nice.
scared at all. She said very clearly
Before the night ends, Adam, I want to play my card if we can. I want to use the Destiny Awaits card.
All right, let me get this. Oh, I'm going to move this one. Then let me get this over here. Okay, so restore 1 usage of bloodline ability. Oh, that's really good for you. Which one are you using? I'm assuming bloodline ability?
Yep, and I'm gonna give myself back the great ability.
Okay, you have recharged your great ability. Great
Which
play
is the
of the
shriek.
green card. Yeah, that's a super potent card for you.
Now can we take a rest, guys?
I
Here?
agree.
I mean, here works for me, or we could go hang out with that skeleton in the guard area.
Sure. You do look a little tired.
Short rest, I play my card.
Well, where is it you would like to go to take your short rest?
Hopefully we can complete it.
Let's go to that guard tower. We're not too far out of here.
Where did we leave Tavard?
I would say after he realized he wasn't going to be able to come in, he climbed back up and he's just on the top of the cliff.
Hmm. Okay. Maybe we want to go like close to the entrance, just to, because we didn't actually leave a trail for him to follow. So maybe we go back to the entrance and do that as part of the short rest. Just
If you guys would like to do that, I can fast track you back there.
Works for me.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't want him getting lost and like have to catch up to us in the middle of a combat or something.
You
Sure.
can take that aura off too, Adam, because it would have dropped by now.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's go ahead and take care of that. Okay, so you guys attempt to take a short rest here. Serena, you are going to play your card, but hey, Dean, why don't you go ahead and play your card too?
Ooh, a double red day?
Yeah, it's a no short rest, I'm guessing.
Rip.
So what I'm going to rule is because Serena has the relaxing, you get to pick 2 options, and my card says you get no benefits from a short rest. I'm going to call that in the middle and say you just get 1 benefit, so you can only pick 1 of the benefits of the short rest.
Woo!
Ooh, okay. I will take spell slots. And I'll have
Yeah,
a
HP, please.
So please go ahead and type which of our homebrew options you're restoring on a short rest, and please deduct your 1 short rest in your display settings and restore as appropriate.
We just roll hit dice, right, Adam? I forgot.
Not exactly. It is all spelled out in our house rules there. So let's see. Let me pull that up again.
Wait, we would have had a long rest on our travel here, right?
No, remember, only get long rests in defensible locations like in the capital and so forth. Okay,
I
so
don't know why I would have burned a short rest already. I'm
Yeah, you
wondering
probably
why.
just
I-
didn't reset it.
yeah, I wouldn't think you had either, Libby. Okay, so your short rest options, if you choose option 1, roll a number of hit dice equal to your proficiency bonus, adding your con mod to each, and you get that many hit points back. So right now, you guys'
Got it.
proficiency is 3, so it's going to be 3d, whatever your hit die is, plus 3 times your con mod.
Oh yeah, Adam, with that strength drain, does it seem like after a short rest, Serena is back in tip-top physical shape?
Good question. I have to see exactly when that ends. It does not specify the enemy's ability, so this would fall under the regular rules. All right, I will find that later. For now, I'm going to say restored on a short rest.
As we're sitting around, Jason will kind of look around and say, well, I assume we can guess what happened to the people who were here before us.
Yeah, they became part of the blob.
Yeah, Adam, can I do some monster checks on the two creatures we fought?
You can, yes.
Hey, you're stepping on my fucking toes, buddy.
Notice how
I
John's
help
been
him?
really quiet here. Yes, if you're both proficient, absolutely. One of you take the lead, and the other. Why don't you guys each take one check? If you're both proficient, one of you roll for the flayed wraith, as you saw posted there, and one for the other one, and we'll see who gets what.
I'll go for the blob, Jordan, if you want to do
Okay.
the other one.
Yep.
Alright.
Alrighty, Serena's strength has been restored. Okay, so let's see. So you get advantage, and then you also get double proficiency. You rolled absolutely terrible on both sides, but because of your bonuses, you will know some things about this creature, but not everything. So the blob is what is known as an overshadow. It essentially is a more powerful version of the more common shadow. It is a lot like a lot of shadows combined together. In addition to the abilities that you saw it had, I would say you would also know that it can actually change the light level around it if it chooses. And yeah, that's about it that you would know. Saline. Okay, yeah, you knocked yours out of the park as usual. So, Flayed Wraith. Pulling that sheet back up. Okay, Flayed Wraith. So, Flayed Wraiths, you would know these are creatures that were tortured to death. So, when they're tortured to death, and that occurs when certain dark energies are present at the moment when they're tortured to death, they can become a tortured wraith. So, instead of becoming truly, incorporeal, they are actually physical in a sense. The skin on them is still their actual skin, and if you were to examine the body, you would likely be able to find this how they died, how they were tortured to death. They are known to be absolutely insane. They don't do anything that you would expect. Who they attack is sort of random, and yeah, their desire is to spread torment to others. Of particular interest to you, you would know that if you had failed that save against that howl of agony, is what it's known as, you would have taken some psychic damage and have been incapacitated. Also interesting to note that if this creature actually drops you to 0 HP, you don't start making death saves, you auto-stabilize because it wants to torture you.
Oh, damn. Well,
Did it have enough skin on it to identify what kind of humanoid it had been in life?
Yes, I'm going to say you can determine that this was an elf.
Okay.
well, that's disturbing. That almost suggests that the elves that lived here were tortured by something. Who or what is the real question, because that shadow thing is a conglomeration of multiple shadows. It's interesting.
It's probably humans.
Because this was made by humans, right? And then the elves took it over.
Well, originally it was built as a commune for a group of pacifists, but this was ancient history. How long in between them and the elves is, well, that's undetermined. But yes, the elves moved in after the original humans.
Yeah.
I think the skeletons we found, I believe, were probably human, whereas these creatures we're seeing are probably remnants of elves. Based on what Celine said, at least. A flayed wraith. That is a new one.
Yeah, I mean,
What
I
a
tried to say something in Elvish. I said we come in peace, but didn't seem too interested in talking.
Clearly, peace wasn't an option then.
Well, when we go back in, I'd like to go the other direction. See if we can get on this side, over here.
It's making me roll stuff, guys.
In no way related to the tear into the shadow world that you created.
I had nothing to do with that. That was the card.
No,
That's the whole point of the cards.
That is absolutely true. That's why I'm having you roll, but yes, it really wasn't you.
The +2 of our Constitution modifier is already included in the hit dice roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Like for that 4, you rolled a 2 + 2. If you highlight the 4, like with your mouse cursor, it'll show you what you rolled.
There was some kind of like crack or something behind that creature when I was looking in that room, by the way. So we should be scared. Maybe more of them could come out of that thing.
Adam, can I hold my lantern up to this crack over here in this wall and peer in through this way? Like, I know I can see what I see on my token, but anything outside of that? Do I see any skeletons or anything outside of just what I see on the map?
So that opening is actually higher than where you're standing. So I would say you don't even actually see everything that you see, but no, nothing of significance from where you're standing.
Well, Mr. Serpentwind, I'd have to say you brought us to a very interesting ruin.
He nods. Yes, and with the dangers we've faced so far, perhaps your dwarven friend is ready to accompany us. I think we could use all the help we can get. And with that, folks, we are at end of the session time, but this worked out really well as you guys waited right by the vines to make it super easy for Tavard to arrive at the beginning of next session. Hope you guys are enjoying the more dungeon crawl here. I know we've had a lot of council sessions, petitioners, and so forth. So this is more of a traditional dungeon crawl. Still a lot to be explored here. So maybe another session or two. It really depends on how quickly you guys go through this. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, finding some treasures, and we will continue the adventure next week. See what you guys get up to. Have a great night, everybody.
No.
Hey, everybody.